Watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Clippers, Kings, and Angels.
Perfect night for a ball game here at the Big A. Even better for a W as we welcome you to our Angels live pregame right here on FanDuel Sports Network and presented by Spectrum. Your Halos taking on the Washington Nationals, looking to bounce back. Officially 81 games in, so we'll be breaking down the first half and looking ahead to the second half. Talking home runs. This team hits a lot of them, and it accounts for half of the total runs. Not a good thing or a bad thing. What about Zach Neto? Get a little report from Erica Weston on maybe a little slide action for Zach. And it is the professor, Kyle Hendricks, on the bump, ready for battle. I welcome you down here on the field with Tim Salmon and Mark Gubaza. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Let's just reflect, guys, on the past 24 hours, right? You get the news that Ron Washington is going to miss the remainder of the season on medical leave, and you got Ray Montgomery, Tim, taking over at the helm, and then you get your teeth kicked in late, like 15-9, and then everything starts late here today. I don't even know what time it is. So what's your takeaway right now, just in the last 24 hours?
Well, you know, it's midpoint of the year. I mean, there's a lot that went on yesterday. I think the guys, you know, you pretty much just got to reset the deck. I mean, you come out here, try to keep it light and loose after yesterday. I mean, you heard the tough news with your manager, and then you go out there and, like you say, things didn't go exactly well if you're a pitcher for the Angels. But if you're a hitter, you want to carry that momentum over. But again, coming in today, it's like, hey, they're looking at this point in the year. It's starting to get warm. You got to start taking those breaks when you can, and I think that's a lot of what you saw today.
I mean, you showed a lot of fight, the team, again. You know, that's the thing with Ron Washington. I mean, they're going to take that character of him the rest of the season, and they know Ron is not going to be there managing the club. He'll be around. They'll see the presence of him be around with the coaching staff, the players, the way they fight. And when they swung the bat, like you said, Tim, they swung the bats exceptionally well. When you score that many runs, you get Soriano on the mound, you feel really good about winning the ball game. You got to give the credit to the Nationals. Yep. They hit every time the Angels scored. They came right back with a leadoff hit or a walk. So they put a lot of pressure on the Angels yesterday. Hey, it's the beauty of baseball again. There's a game today.
It's pretty much.
It might be a little later, but there is a game today.
It's pretty much a show and go. And what Gooby means by later is there was no BP. I'm a bit of a later arrival for some of the players. Kenley Jansen wheeling in on his scooter. I almost ran into him, and I want to hurt the closer. But you're at the halfway point. You're 40-41. And Ray Montgomery said if you'd have told him or anybody, the guys upstairs, you're 40-41 after losing 99 a year ago, you would take that. You look at where you are in the wild card standings. Just a game and a half out. A lot of baseball left to be played and a lot of good things to take away from the first 81, as referenced by some of the players.
We love where we're at. This year's flying by. I think it's gone faster than any. However, we did anticipate it, but we're happy with where we're at. Obviously, last night didn't go our way, but there was zero panic in this room about that. It just wasn't our night, and we're going to get back on it today.
I think we're doing pretty well. I think just to be a few games out of the postseason is really good. I think we've played good as baseball against great teams, and I like where we are. I like that we went through our rut already. Fortunately, it happened earlier in the year rather than like September or October, so I like that, and I think we're playing good baseball.
So a couple of leaders right there, the guys behind the dish, they see everything very well. Tim, do you agree with what they had to say?
Well, I do. I mean, you think about coming out of spring training, we were all talking, hey, this has got a team that could surprise some people. I mean, the rotation looked like it came around. We know to this point, I mean, we've been talking about the rotation, how well they've done, you know, 5-man rotation all the way through. The offense is starting to heat up. I think this is a team that's going to cause a lot of issues for teams in the second half. Now, you look at the teams they played up to this point. They played some really good teams and gone toe-to-toe. I mean, almost swept the Yankees in New York. So I do believe the Angels are trending a little bit better than people expected.
Yeah, I mean, you come in to see, do you want it to be enough offense there? And you're starting to see that. These young guys are putting it all together. When you think about, you know, the Netos, the Sean Owells, the Adells, the O'Hoppys, you know, and all the young guys putting it all together. You're talking about 54 home runs hit between all the young players in there. So I'm really like what I'm seeing as far as the power numbers. The balance in the lineup, you're going to get Soler back before too long. He's hit a little bit today. Moncada may be back before you know it. there's some pretty good balance in it, and I think the offense is strong enough to really make some noise now. And I think it's going to be real interesting as we go along. With 81 games left, it's going to be a lot of fun.
40 home runs in essentially every single month, and 38 here in the month of June. So on pace, they're on pace to hit the most home runs they have in franchise history. Tim, you were part of a team in 2000 that hit a ton of home runs. This team, 49% of their runs are scored, nearly 50%, right? 49.9 via the home run. Is this sustainable? Will this result in a playoff team if they keep it at this pace?
Well, I think what you saw this homestand is we made a lot of talk about that, but in the 15 homers they've hit this homestand, 8 have been solos, but you've seen 7 of them be runner on base and guys getting on base in front of them. I think that's the key. I think the home runs are always going to be there because you have that kind of talent. It's just a matter of guys all the way up and down the lineup meshing their approach, whatever it is, going out there and really kind of getting in that midseason form where they start getting on base more. And when that happens, you're going to see these home runs. I do believe they can hit this pace of home runs, but I do think that they're going to start hitting more home runs with men on base as the year progresses. Gotcha.
Yeah, and you think about it, though, Tim, as a hitter, you got to like the fact that a lot of those home runs have been going the other way or the center field, so that allows you to think it's sustainable as far as the power. And when like I mentioned, you get Moncada back, he's a guy that really works counts very, very well and gets on base. You're seeing some more walks. That's resulting in multi-run home runs. So that's going to be important for this club.
Listen, we're so pressed for time, but Santa is right over there. Look, Santa's right there.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Santa. An elf. And buddy, the elf got your outfit on. I got my Woodstock Christmas tie. I got my ho-ho-ho. I see your outfit, Tim. You didn't get the memo.
I didn't.
Got nothing from Santa. Let me go to you here on this, Gooby, because you're ready for this question. The youth of this team, right?
Yes.
They love Santa Claus. Also, you got all these first-round picks. Obviously, the future is great, but what do you think about this season? Is the playoff team this season with these young guys?
I think Ron Washington said it best. Last season, there were some ups and downs with this group. Now you're seeing these guys together, and there's a lot more upward trend with all 4 of these guys, a lot more power. You throw in a Christian Moore in there, too. I mean, there's so much to like about these guys. They're doing everything well on the field. They're hitting breaking balls now. They're hitting fastballs. They're hitting the ball the other way. And they're getting hits with runners in scoring position. So Sean Well is unbelievable for me with runners in scoring position. As a pitcher on the mound, I don't want him up there at the plate because he's going to put the ball in play. It might not always be 103 off the bat, although we've seen a lot more of it. It's going to be put in play. It's got a good chance of falling in the outfield.
Tim, I got to jump in. Santa ruined the whole first segment. I apologize. So I'm going to go to pitching right now. You have 5 starters. The only team in baseball that have just used 5 starters. How has that helped the bullpen? Since May 19th, a 3-1-0 bullpen, which is the best in baseball.
Well, when you're using 5 starters, I mean, that means that you're not putting that extra stress in the bullpen. And the 5 starters that we have, I mean, these guys are going 5, 6, 7 innings occasionally, and that's just going to allow that bullpen to settle in. I mean, you start with Kenley Jansen in the back end. You start putting yourself in position where you know your closer is, you know who your setup guy is. Yeah, you had a couple guys you've missed out of there, injury-wise, but the bullpen has done a great job, and I think a lot of it is because guys are starting to come out in the games and familiar innings. They're used to coming in the 6th or the 7th or the 8th. You're not just kind of mixing and matching and trying to fill the gap with whatever you have. You're starting to see guys get familiar, coming out in the game in the same situation every night.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, the clubs, how many teams have openers, how many spot starters? Every guy in the bullpen knows exactly what this starter's going this day. He's going to go 5, 6 innings. Then I got to prepare myself mentally to be able to come into a game. I might come in the game with some traffic on the bases, but I know these guys are taking the ball every game out there, so we can set up the bullpen exactly where you want it, and that's the guy you want closing there in Kenley Jansen.
All right, so these are great numbers with the rotation and the bullpen and looking to even up this series with the Nats here tonight. We'll take a break, come back with Zach Neto, and listen, halfway to Christmas.
Santa!
If I just had one Christmas wish, it's great health for all of these players. And I'll put Zach Neto at the top of the list. Erica Weston joins us with an update on Zach next.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, Your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Premier talent.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns every game night. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show. Weekdays on MLB Network.
There's a unicorn in Hollywood.
The lineup we know is incredibly deep. Like that starting rotation is unlike anything I can remember.
I got them running the National League.
I think this is the first of like 4 or 5 straight world championships.
This is just an incredible wealth of riches.
Shohei Ohtani! He's in a world of his own! Strike 3 swinging. It's a dozen strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow. Walk-off red.
We welcome you back to our Angels live pregame on FanDuel Sports Network, and brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited, that's Spectrum, and that's the 3-time MVP, Mike Trout, as the Angels are taking on the Washington Nationals here tonight. And this is a great opportunity. Well, it's going to start Monday, voting for Mike Trout, who has advanced to Phase 2 of All-Star voting. Again, it begins on Monday. Scan the QR code to cast your 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star ballot today, whenever that QR. Look at Gooby, Wayne, and Erica out there with all the buttons.
Yes, that was fun.
I got thrown out. I just got thrown off by it. When'd you guys do that?
Just a couple days ago.
Passing out. I must have missed.
You missed it. You lost the memo again.
I would have helped pass out some amazing buttons. I think the All-Star game guy is about the stars of the game, and Mike Trout is there, and he belongs with these players.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the unfortunate part about this game. There's so many stars in so few positions, but yeah, Mike Trout. I mean, they're looking for 2 more outfielders. Get your vote in.
Yep. I mean, as a kid growing up, you wanted to see the superstars in the game, and Mike Trout is a superstar.
Get him there. So listen, it's going to be a tight vote. So vote Monday to Wednesday. As we bring in Erica Weston right now, and Erica, we saw Zach Neto doing some work on the field. Is he in the lineup, and what was he working on?
Well, first of all, Patio, we couldn't have you out there with the buttons. That's too much star power in one place. So
true.
you got to be on your own for that one. Next round for Mike Trout. Yes, Zach Neto's not in the lineup tonight. The hope may be tomorrow, if not the latest Tuesday when the Angels are in Atlanta. Of course, this all started because he jammed his shoulder sliding into second base, so the conversation surrounding that was, hey, maybe he should start sliding feet first, and that's something that Neto has never done at any stage of his career. So that conversation took a little bit of a different turn. Here he was before the game today. This was the start of him trying to get comfortable sliding feet first. About 5 slides on that sort of slip and slide looking thing, no water, and then about 5 slides on the dirt. So the very beginning stages of him trying to get comfortable sliding feet first. Here's what he told us before the game.
Felt good. Felt normal. You know, just I got up to about like 90, 120. So, you know, it was my first time throwing since everything happened, but I felt good. You know, no pain, nothing. So, you know, I think I got another off day today, and if I got to come in this game again, and I'll do the same thing. So, just monitoring it, you know, making sure I feel good, you know, right now, in a couple hours, you know, tomorrow when I wake up, just, you know, trying to be smart, you know, having that off day on Monday, and, you know, and then we have Atlanta coming up. So, yeah, just trying to be smart.
The plan for him is to get comfortable sliding, period. No, it was good. It's just something, you know, he hasn't done as much as he's done the other way, so we just want to make sure before he goes out there that he gets comfortable doing it.
Would you like him to do that?
In a perfect world, sure, yeah. I mean, given what's happened, sure. In the same breath, we understand in the context of the game as it's happening, we'll see what happens. But in a perfect world, yeah.
Yeah, Zach said it did feel a little bit weird, so it's going to take some time for him to get comfortable doing, again, all in the context of the game. You don't know what's going to happen. They just want him to be comfortable. Now, I did mention that he's never slid feet first at any stage of his career. He did so a couple of times on his rehab assignment earlier this year. I asked him how'd that go, and he said, well, I got thrown out twice, so that's about how well it went. But he's going to have to start getting comfortable with it if they want want him to continue to do that, to be safe and keep the health of that shoulder top of mind, guys.
That's it. Yeah, you and I talked about it before the show, Erica. Got to keep Zach Neto on the field at all costs. Great reporting. Thanks so much. Have a great game.
Thanks, Patio.
There's Erica Weston right there. Tim, I'll start with you on this. It's unusual, right, for a major leaguer, somebody with the athleticism, the skill level that Zach Neto possesses, to never have slid feet first. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Should he steal less? What do you think of this situation?
Well, I don't want to see him steal less. I mean, I think that's part of his game. You want him to run, but I think the key is going to be, can he do it without consciously having to think about it? Because it's a reaction for sure. And you know, the problem is sometimes you see these people, when these guys, when they're consciously trying to do something, it almost becomes mechanical, and then you end up hurting yourself even more. I was kind of laughing. It was like, boy, I mean, I slid my whole career. I felt like I had an eternal raspberry on my rear end. Does he have any raspberries today? I mean,
yeah.
You know, if he hasn't ever slid on,
I mean, I didn't see it.
I know you're going to get. I mean, that's the one. That's a private little conversation. Like, okay, how do you deal with the raspberries? But without a doubt, I mean, I would almost say, hey, imagine you're playing shortstop and you're sliding to catch a ball, you know, rather than it's a base. I mean, because he would do that all day long naturally. But it is a weird thing to see a major leaguer at this stage having to figure out or learn how to slide.
I mean, when we had interleague play, when I was with the Angels, we had to learn to slide just like that in the outfield. And you know, you pick it up pretty quickly. Once you do it a few times, it becomes second nature for it. With Zach Neto is such a great athlete, I think it'll become second nature to him right away.
I guess we'll just have to see if that just tick of time less, sliding feet first, causes him to be thrown out more. Hopefully not. We got some sad news in baseball today as the Cobra, Dave Parker, passed away at the age of 74. One of the great all-time players, a Hall of Famer, a two-time World Series champion, 1979. We are family. Pittsburgh Pirates also won in '89 with the Athletics. He was so great on the field, and he had a way with words as well. When the leaves turn brown, I'm going to be winning a batting crown. Dave Parker, you faced him numerous times. You got to know him as well. It's a sad
I mean, he was one of the scariest batters I ever faced. I mean, he was gigantic. He hit one line drive, was going right towards my knee. All I could do was just hope it didn't hit me. I couldn't even react to it. Hit the ball that hard. I mean, he covered the plate really well. Great arm in the outfield. We've seen a lot of those throws, especially in that All-Star game. And then when it was here with the Angels, he was our coach, and this the smile on his face, and he made me laugh every single day. I had to run up to him just to talk to him for a second so I could just start about how I was feeling. I just talked to Parkway, and he was unbelievable. Wow. It's such a sad thing because he was going into the Hall of Fame in just a few weeks. Dream come true for him. Not to have him here for that is very difficult. Sending prayers to the entire family.
Yeah, for sure. Parkway, I mean, very much loved the one year that I had an opportunity to have him be a coach of mine. I learned a lot about baseball. One of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. I think he could have been a comedian away from the game, but without a doubt, he was one of the funniest guys, but one of the most feared players. I mean, he was a giant of a man. He swung like I think he said at one point, like a 38-ounce bat. I mean, he would swing the biggest. Back then, the big guys swung big bats, but I mean, he was notoriously big, but just a tremendous power hitter, tremendous hit for a high average. Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that had all those tools, 19 years in the big leagues. You know, just fortunate that I had a chance to cross paths with him.
A batting champion, you're right, hit 300 against Gooby, so a high batting average. When he would slide into second base, I mean, you feared for whoever was at the bag. But how about the All-Star game 1979? This throw, he was the MVP in '78, and he gets Brian Downing, the Angel, at the plate. One of the all-time great throws.
Yeah, look at that. You got Gary Carter at the plate. You got Brian Downing and Parker throwing that throw. I mean, that's the beauty of the All-Star game. We're going back to that, but I'll tell you what, he had me laughing all the time.
Dave Parker, growing up, I mean, that was the guy that the Pirates were the team you wanted to watch with Pop and
Dave family.
Parker. Absolutely, and they won it all in 1979. And Dave Parker, may you rest in peace, one of the all-time greats. Okay, so Gooby, you're gonna have a great call tonight with Wayne and Erica. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, guys.
Halfway to Christmas, halfway to the end of the season. You see you can't see, but I got socks.
I like your socks.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the joy. And I want to see the Angels get a W. What about these Nats? Tim Salmon going to stick around to break down their team next.
This This guy is the entire package.
Struck him out. My goodness.
He has a weapon for every hitter.
Good luck. 99.
And what I like most about him, he pitches with an attitude.
They're still on their feet for Paul Skeens.
Everyone wants to watch this guy.
Must-see TV for me.
6'7", top 5 exit velo, #1 arm in the sport.
There's a cruise missile. More fireworks.
He can go out there to center field, relax, and I think this is a 30-30 guy this season.
Did he do it? Oh my goodness, what a play!
An absolute beast unleashed.
You are unbelievable.
Racking them up, all I do is win. Spot that hashtag like a boss, yeah, that's how I roll. Keep on nailing and never miss it back, enjoy the show.
Relive the biggest plays from every game with Abby LeVar on Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings on MLB Network.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte, he's done it one more time.
The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte.
There goes Corbin.
Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
Goodbye, Sticks alive.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
To our Angels live pregame here on FanDuel Sports Network, brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. That's the rock pile here, halfway to Christmas, halfway through the season. As far as the Nationals are concerned, their manager, Dave Martinez, had this quote. Listen, the team is going through a tough stretch, so here's what he had to say when questioned about it. Quote, we're not going to finger point here and say it's on coaches. It's never on coaches. They work hard. The message is clear. All the work is done prior. Sometimes they, the players, got to go out there and they got to play the game. It's always been about the players, always, end quote. From Dave Martinez, a manager, a World Series winning manager. Your thoughts on that? Do you agree with them? And Nationals were going through, they had a pretty good start to the season, and then when it hits the skids, you start getting questions. You have to answer like that.
Yeah, everything in context. I mean, talking to some of their media guys on the other side, they said it was a little bit taken out of context. The way the question was presented, it was really more digging at the coaches, and he was trying to protect the coaches. Right. And it just came out. He's always been a big protector of players. I think any manager in the big leagues realizes, you are going to be a protector of your players in any situation. I don't think he meant to throw them under the bus necessarily. Yep. But I think he was making a point that, at the end of the day, the coaches can only do so much. I mean, your job stops at the dugout steps, and then from there, the players got to take it on. I just maybe think, in retrospect, he could have said it maybe a little bit differently. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, listen, he's got a lot of young players, a lot of really good, young, talented players, some of the best all-star MVP quality players. Is this a comp, James Wood, to a Dave Parker? The size and the athletic and the playing ability?
Definitely the size. Maybe when Parker was younger, he's got to put on a few LBs there, but without a doubt, we're talking about the talent. Just amazing talent. Tremendous. You look at that, 22 homers, 64 RBIs to this point in the year, hitting 278. I mean, this kid, he's 6'7", 230 pounds, something like that. He's a big boy already, and I'm telling you what, this guy's going to be a future that you want to pay attention to because...
What about? Okay. Oh, I was just going to ask you about this trade. We talked in our meeting about it. You feel this is one of the biggest trades, not just in baseball history, may go down in sports history.
Yeah, for the old guys. I mean, it's the Herschel Walker trade right here. C.J. Abrams, All-Star, James Wood, All-Star, Mackenzie Gore. All these guys are going to be the superstars of the game. And get back to James Wood. Because he's so big, he makes things look so easy and effortless. He has those long arms, those home runs. He's a smart hitter. He hits the ball the other way. I mean, he can do it all. And, he's been raised, parents were athletes. He was raised, went to IMG, academy in high school. So he's really had the tutelage all along. And I think he's going to be truly a great player.
Yeah, he just has that sense of calm to him when he's at the dish as well. And he's so young. And certainly the ceiling for this guy is MVP quality type player. They got a good one. So do the Halos and the Professor Kyle Hendricks. He's facing a good lineup. That's next.
I use PayPal.
The Roar is back in Motown.
Right now, Major League Baseball, we have a new Tiger King.
Tarek Skubal owns this mound.
Look at him walking off the mound. This guy's a nightmare.
This kid's special, doing it all.
Riley Green saves the day.
Does everything on the field, plays great defense, can steal bags.
He's a monster.
If I'm on time, I know my swing is going to be in the best spot possible for me to hit the ball.
Riley Green tears into another one.
That's the Tigers, baby.
Some moments are too big to miss.
4 swings, 4 homers. Kyle Tucker, you are the man. It's gone! This place is going wild.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the biggest plays from around the league as they happen.
What a play!
Oh, my goodness!
Plus, highlights and reactions from the moments that matter most.
You know, good to get that win today, but got to keep going.
MLB Tonight, only on MLB Network.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go, take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
I just realized what was missing today. It was the sweet taste of victory. That's right, when the Angels win the game, you win free McDonald's fries. Get free medium fries tomorrow with any $2 purchase only on the app at participating McDonald's and after a Halos W. Right there, State College in Catella. I'm going to be stopping by there tomorrow before the ball game. Here is the Angels lineup. Your thoughts here tonight.
Well, it's the same lineup we saw last night. Hey, don't break what isn't, or don't fix what isn't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you got 9 runs last night. You know, maybe you can feel some of that love again.
All right, so Giffey off the top. Had a pretty good game last night. Kyle Hendricks, how does he use his off-speed stuff to blow by an 88-mile-per-hour fastball?
Well, these guys love hitting the fastball. He's got to neutralize him with that changeup. Here's the good news. Batting average, left-handed batters hitting .216. 6 of them are in the lineup tonight facing him. That bodes well for him.
Love it. Great job, Kingfish, as always. See you for post. Wayne Randazzo, Mark Gubiza, Buddy the Elf, and Erica next.
Pack your...
That starting rotation, it doesn't get better than that.
Dominating night from Logan Gilbert.
Trying to be out there and take the ball as much as I can.
Swing and a miss against Luis Castillo.
It's wipeout stuff.
He's a legit ace.
Talk about depth the Mariners really have.
What a masterpiece from George Kirby.
Just trying to go out there and give my team the best chance to win.
Julio Rodriguez is an absolute superstar out there in center field.
Go my zone, Julio.
Once I go, I just want to have everything ready.
The guy's dangerous.
Julio.
MLB The Show 25, take 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Eli De La Cruz.
This is Paul Skeens.
Gunnar Henderson here. I am super excited to be sharing the cover of MLB The Show 25.
But we're gonna play for real?
This is the fun part right here.
It's a huge honor to be on the cover with 2 great athletes.
Welcome to the show.
That's a wrap.
Some moments are too big to miss.
4 swings, 4 homers. Kyle Tucker, you are the man. It's gone! This place is going wild.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the biggest plays from around the league as they happen.
What a play! Oh, my goodness!
Plus, highlights and reactions from the moments that matter most.
You know, good to get that win today, but got to keep going.
MLB Tonight, only on MLB Network.
We do not talk about this superstar enough, and that's Rafael Devers.
6th straight game with a home run.
Jarren Duran is an extra base machine.
I've just always been like that guy that keeps his head down and works hard.
Swing and a miss. Crochet's got that kind of electric stuff.
This green monster is tailor-made for Alex Bregman's swing. Great fit for Bregman, great fit for the Red Sox.
This was the piece that they really needed.
Guys, Sports Network, the home of the Clippers, Kings, and Angels.
On a beautiful night for baseball in Southern California, tonight's game brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's game 2 of a 3-game series on this Christmas in June weekend at Angel Stadium with the Halos taking on the Washington Nationals here tonight. Alongside Santa's favorite elf, Mark Gubas, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby, the Halos with a chance to even up this series today. Well, Santa delivered a lot of runs yesterday, but not enough for the Angels.
Yeah, Wayne, it was a tough one. The offense really swung the bats well, but, you know, the Nationals responded every time the Angels would score, so you just got to forget about that game. That's the beauty of baseball. You got a game here today. Hopefully turn around quickly for the Halos.
Now, the Angels reached the halfway point of the season yesterday, 40-41 after their first 81 games, and as we saw yesterday, power has been a big reason why they've stayed afloat.
Yeah, Wayne, you got a lot to like about as far as the power going to it. My 3 mid-season keys for this club, be able to keep it going into the second half too, is that power numbers. 121 home runs so far this season, on pace for a club record. They're third most in all of a second in the American League as far as power numbers. That's up and down the lineup. The young players, the veteran players, you're starting to see a lot of production on the power side. But keeping that rotation healthy, Wayne, has been the big reason why the bullpen has been good. I'll tell you what, they've taken that ball every 5 days. It's allowed everyone to go out there and prep and be ready and go out there and dominate so far.
Now, first time in franchise history getting through the halfway point with just 5 starters, and with that bullpen pitching well, the Angels have also gotten some clutch hits to win those close games.
Yeah, 16-8 and it was 1 run, second best in all of baseball. They'll be able to get to that deep part of the bullpen. Kenley Jansen closing it out. You know, Reed Detmer's been great too. So getting that back into the bullpen, those close games, some clutch hits late in the games. It's been really a good formula, but you just want to keep that continue here in the second half.
I'll try to get back to 500 tonight as the second half starts here at Angel Stadium, and Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the Halos.
Now, the professor just got to have work his magic here today. He's been great at home.
See if Mike Trout brings some gifts to the Big A here tonight. It's Christmas in June at the ballpark. The Angels play the Nats in game 2 of this series.
Kansas City's hot.
They are relentless.
And Bobby Witt Jr. is piping hot.
One big swing from the Royal superstar.
The greatest player on earth right now.
You become like a massive, massive force.
Salute indeed to El Capitan.
You have to work more. You have to sacrifice yourself more.
That's the type of baseball that wins come postseason.
Just the team that we have, just doing things one pitch at a time, 1 inning at a time. It's just so much fun.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight. The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball.
This place doesn't know what hit them.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues.
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man.
I go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention. Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
The MLB Network podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network podcast, presented by New Balance, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern.
Baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Hyundai. With a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. I mean, look at that. By Jack in the Box, get so much more in the new T-Pain Munchie Meal. Who's that guy? Who's in there? And by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. There is Santa, as played by Mark Kubica.
Oh, the Snow Miser was my favorite little get up there, too.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, no apostrophe. Season's greetings.
Yes.
Here at the ballpark. Gotta fix that apostrophe. Just for me, though. Nobody else seems to mind. The wreath out on the California Spectacular as well. It's never looked more spectacular.
It is spectacular right now.
Even more so than usual. And the Angels trying to get a victory, which would be the greatest gift of all to this crowd here at Angel Stadium tonight. Really, tonight and tomorrow now, after losing the opener in this series to a last place Washington team. And we've talked about it. The Angels have lost home series to the Pirates, to the Marlins, to the Orioles, all teams that are in last place in their respective divisions, trying to avoid that fate here in this series against a Washington team that has only had 6 wins in the month of June.
Yeah, when you look at their lineup, they have some guys who can swing the bat, especially the top of that lineup. They were very, very impressive last night. Going to be up to Kyle Hendricks to put up some zeros early on and get that offense rolling like they did last night when they scored a bunch of runs with a lot of home runs hit.
Yeah, a lot of offense here yesterday in a 15-9 game as the Angels were back and forth with the Nationals. A lot of lead changes and ties in that game last night, but Washington pulled away against the Angels bullpen. While their own bullpen, the Nationals bullpen, did pretty well. Usually they've been the ones scuffling this year, but not yesterday. As Kyle Hendricks leads the Angels onto the field tonight. He's 3-0 in the month of June.
Yeah, I mean, and he's thrown the ball well, and he's thrown the ball well all season long here at the Big A, 3-3 mark with an ERA just barely over 4. My go-tos for Kyle Hendricks to continue that good stretch here at the Big A is we got to get the hitters, they got to be guessing all day long and get lots of chases on the changeup. 25 strikeouts on his changeup this season, but have him guessing. Look for that changeup, get the fastball, look for the fastball, get the changeup, look for the fastball or changeup, drop that curveball in there.
Sure, the lineup for the Washington Nationals led by Davey Martinez, who's nearing 500 wins as the skipper of the Nationals. Their two best hitters, C.J. Abrams and James Wood, right at the top of the order. Although everybody had a good night yesterday for Washington with pretty similar lineup as yesterday as well. And there is Davey Martinez leading the way after they won the World Series in 2019. They have not had a winning season since.
And they've been struggling, even though they've made some deals, have gotten better, especially with the Soto. Looking at the Nissan defense behind Kyle Hendricks today on Shawneewell over at first base already. He's played, this will be his 79th game at first base. In the outfield first, though, Taylor Ward, Joe Adell, Lamont Wade Jr., who played tremendous defense last night in the right field, Ren Hifo, Kevin Newman, Proud Papa, Christian Moore, and you got Nolan Shawneewell over first base, Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. But Shawneewell has been really, really good as far as the tops, as far as putouts, and being involved in double plays this season.
He's been swinging the bat grade for the better part of 2 months now, so Shawneewell has certainly improved greatly from where he was since his major league call-up in the second half of 2023. And would you believe that once Kyle Hendricks throws the first pitch, we will be in the second half of the 2025 season.
Amazing when you think about that.
Feels like it goes quickly and it takes a long time.
Yeah, when you get to those, especially when it gets to August, I think it slows down a little bit there.
So here is C.J. Abrams to lead things off tonight. The second half of the season for the Angels is underway as Abrams fouls one back. Well, the Washington Nationals made one monstrous trade with the San Diego Padres to reload their farm system. And in the vacuum of that trade alone, it worked. Look at Abrams and James Wood and Mackenzie Gore. Even Robert Hassel has had some big league time as Abrams fouls one off. They just haven't put anything else really, though, around these guys, which is hard to believe considering this trade now is almost 3 years ago.
And when you think about it, a few years before that, I mean, they were a World Series champion. They had a very deep farm system, a lot of good young players, and all of a sudden it's changed quite a bit.
It has not gone well for the Nationals since that World Series win. As Abrams out in front lifts a fly ball to right center field. Lamont Wade has some steps before the warning track and makes the catch for the first out of the game. Juan Soto went to San Diego. The Padres and A.J. Preller unloaded some of their farm system, and with it, Abrams, Wood, and Gore ended up in Washington. And they've all performed extremely well. There just hasn't been any sort of bubble up coming from it within the Nationals' own farm system other than these guys or guys that they have signed and added to the group. So they've been floundering, and they're 14 games under 500 right now as James Wood fouls one off.
And they were an aggressive team when you even going back to yesterday and you've seen it throughout the season. They are up there hacking early in counts. But I mean, I think they have some good young pieces around. I really have been a big fan of House over there at third base. He's going to really be a real good player for him.
They have Dylan Cruz on the IL, a former top 3 draft pick. So we'll see if some of these other guys materialize in the way that Wood has. You know, you look at Wood's numbers this year, and they're kind of Juan Soto-esque minus all the strikeouts. A 930 OPS. He's hit 22 home runs. He's been incredibly valuable in the number 2 spot in the order for Washington. And he hits this ball sharply out toward the gap in right center as Wade will have to play it on a bounce. It's a base hit for James Wood.
He's really good power the other way, too. Now he got that pitch. Kyle was way ahead of the count there, but he just went down, and he's got great play coverage, too. Didn't hit it hard. Generally, you don't see a lot of baseballs hit hard off of Kyle Hendricks because he fools him so well, but is strong enough to be able to get that into the outfield.
In baseball, it's with its cyclical nature, you know, on the day that the great Dave Parker passes away, we get to watch a guy that is a lot like Dave Parker in a lot of ways on the baseball field in James Wood.
Oh, definitely. And be able to face him and see him and watch him even as a fan growing up and then facing him. Dave Parker was just somebody you just stopped and watched. And I think you're seeing the same thing with James Wood. I mean, he does so many things well.
Yeah, he's a Parker-esque looking figure and player as Luis Garcia pops this one up. Christian Moore steps onto the outfield grass to make the catch. 2 down here in the first. And we'll talk more about the Cobra as we go along. Dave Parker passing away today, just about a month before his induction into the Hall of Fame.
By the way, another off-balance swing against Kyle Hendricks. That's what he wants all game long.
Especially with all these lefties. I mean, really reverse splits this year for Hendricks, and most years. I mean, he has that great changeup. This kind of plays into his hand. The first 5 hitters in the Washington lineup all left-handed, including Nathaniel Lowe, who's been sort of an Angels killer during his time with the Texas Rangers and performed well in the game yesterday.
Yeah, a couple big doubles yesterday again. He's another one that hits the ball pretty well the other way. As you see Joe Adell shading him that way.
Taps this one foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Been a pretty decent year for Lowe as we see Hendricks using that changeup as often as possible, more often than anyone else.
And it's a good one. He gets a whiff percentage over 21%. And he's been a strike thrower so far today.
Yeah, 10 for 10 on his first deliveries of this game, and he's ahead of Nathaniel Lowe with the throw to first to chase back Wood, who does have stolen base capability as well. That is something the Washington Nationals don't mind utilizing. They have stolen 71 bases this year. Wood has 10. Abrams 17, and Dylan Cruz, who's on the IL, had 11.
Seen a lot go 0-2 too this year. Part of the reason was there's so many pitchers now with throwing that secondary pitch is 0-2. Why would you not take that shot? Worst case scenario, you give your hitter a fresh at bat the following inning, but it's tough for a catcher to catch and throw a secondary pitch on an 0-2 count.
1 ball 2 strikes. As Lowe squirts one foul. The Nationals are 6th in the major leagues as a team in stolen bases. They have a lot more than the Angels do. The Angels have 37, the second fewest in the majors. As you see CJ Abrams, who has the team high 17, making the first out of the game here. Wood's the runner at first. And Nathaniel Lowe cracks one through the middle. It's a base hit. Wood will make his stop at second base. He won't take the chance here with 2 outs. That's 2 hits in the inning as Wood and Lowe get on base to bring up Josh Bell.
He's made some good contact over his career against the Angels. Again, another baseball not hit hard, but found a hole. A lot of at-bats for Bell against Kyle Hendricks. 25 of them. And Kyle's been pretty solid against him so far.
Now Bell only 4 hits in those 25 at-bats against Hendricks. This seems like a matchup that doesn't really favor the Nationals in terms of a soft tosser out there or a guy who is trying to get hitters out on their front foot. The young lineup for the most part outside of Lowe and Bell. Bell looks at a strike, floating in with that changeup from Hendricks.
If he can get those pitches on the edge and shadows throughout the scheme, it could really get the Nationals to be even more aggressive in chasing off the plate, and that was a little bit off the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bell pops it up. Well, after the Nationals scored in 6 straight innings to end the game last night. It's 0 in the first.
Hold on. Hold the door.
Cooking a dinner my whole family can enjoy is a piece of chaos. The requests these kids make are really something.
Dad, can I get some strawberries and ketchup?
Home Chef's new family menu has been a lifesaver. With Home Chef's easy 4-serving meals, we get dinner done quicker.
I have to finish my masterpiece.
Do I even want to know?
Home Chef's family menu. The parents who get it,
what?
Get Home Chef. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
At the concert and up courtside thanks to Game Time.
Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look. It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, even last minute.
What time is it? It's Game Time!
This tiny home trend, not for me. Now this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without bending down or touching my shoes. Wide fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Irvine Auto Center gives us the Angels batting order with Luis Rengifo leading off. No Zach Neto in there again tonight. We saw him as a pinch hitter yesterday. Shotwell hits second, then Trout third. Taylor Ward, fresh off his 20th home run of the year, bats cleanup. Joe Adell, fresh off his 18th, bats fifth. Then O'Hoppe behind the plate. Wade, Moore, and Newman at the bottom of the order. For Ray Montgomery, the interim manager now for the Angels, with Ron Washington not expected to come back for the remainder of the season. And here is Michael Soroka, a veteran of sorts, on the mound for Washington. And on the first pitch, Rengifo tags one to left. It's caught, shoestring grab by Wood.
Yeah, that's that ability to get to that baseball tall out there in left field. Runs that one down. If he doesn't get that, it's going to be a double or triple. Good read off the bat. Able to get that just before it hits the outfield grass, but a good swing for Rengifo.
One pitch, 1 out for Soroka.
He's really changed the way he used to be. He used to be a major sinker ball pitcher, but now he throws a 4-seam fastball and he slurve his big strikeout pitch. Changeup also.
Been a long time for Soroka since he has made it through an entire season as a starting pitcher.
My go-tos to have success against him here tonight is power, success versus his fastball. He's given up 8 home runs versus his fastball this season, and don't expand on that slurve.
Well, that slurve's been his best pitch. It's been one of the best pitches in all of baseball. Opponents have only hit 123 off of it, but he's been hit hard on that fastball. Canadian-born right-hander, was a Cy Young candidate in 2019. Then his Achilles popped, then it popped again, and he really has not been even close to the same pitcher since that point. Although you got to give him a lot of credit for working his way back over the last half-decade since that happened. Yep. 2 balls and a strike as Shotwell punches one foul.
Yeah, I remember when he first came up, I was a big fan of the way he threw the baseball. He worked quickly. He involved his infielders with all of his ground balls.
Lefties have hit him hard. 8 home runs out of the 10 he's allowed have come to left-handers. He's been pretty good lately. He's allowed 5 hits or fewer in 4 straight starts, and he had a career high 10 strikeouts in his last start at Dodger Stadium. It was on June 22nd. Up the freeway, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and there is that breaking ball missing to Shotwell. 3-2.
It almost does look like a curve. It is that combination of slider and curveball.
What makes it a combination?
Yeah, because the curveball usually 12-6 break, the slider more, a little more tilt to it. So it's a combination of 2. It's not that big of a break on it as a curveball.
It's a bouncer up the middle. Garcia able to get to it with the backhand and throw out Shotwell. A lot of times guys will just call pitches basically whatever they want. I mean, if they're slurvy or if they're curvy, it doesn't really matter. Guys will put a label on it and they'll call it that.
I mean, you think of a curveball 12-6. His is more, it would be like a 10-4 type break to it.
2 outs, and the batter will be Trout. Remember, voting starts Monday for phase 2 of the All-Star game vote. Trout has a chance for his 12th career All-Star selection and 11th via fan voting. As he takes a strike here up against 3 other outfielders for the remaining 2 spots in the American League. One of them, Javier Baez, on that list. Riley Green and Stephen Kwan as well. Imagine Green will get some votes. He's had a great year for Detroit.
I was watching him again. He had another home run today. He has had a great run here in about the last month and a half.
The Tigers 20 games above 500 as they sit with the best record in Major League Baseball. There's that breaking ball falling right in there to Trout. 1-2. Dodgers are also 20 over as they lost to the Royals today. Shohei Ohtani pitched 2 innings and he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts at the plate. We know how taxing it can be for him on the days he pitches. 1-2. Trout had a good cut.
One thing Trouty seems to be caught in between lately, Wayne, is he's still trying to gear up to the high fastball. He's seen a lot of them, but he's missing some of those breaking balls in that lower third, which he generally hits a lot and hits it hard. See if he gets back on track with that.
Fastball ran in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trout sitting on 390 career home runs. He's 10 away from 400. There's a chance to get there this year after hitting 12 in the first half. He's on pace. Laid off the breaking ball on that check swing, ball 3.
See, Trout's trying to tell himself to stay back on the breaking ball. He's been chasing that a little bit off the zone. And he's able to hold up on that one. But he's trying to tell himself to read that out of the hand that it's a ball. Hit the one when it's in the strike zone.
Yeah, it was right in there, and he was unable to hit it as Soroka gets the strikeout in a 1-2-3 inning.
Everything about PXG totally changed my game. The whole experience that PXG brings is top-notch. They make the best equipment and really tailor it to your swing. I've seen great results. The forgiveness, the workability definitely makes the game a lot easier. I hit 15 yards farther, and it's going straighter. The joy and the great feeling of seeing the ball get in the hole is pretty special. Yeah, you should go get fitted.
PXG, you've never played like this before.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
And this is one for the memory banks, the 1979 All-Star game, and a play at the plate. There's the Angels' Brian Downing trying to score, and Dave Parker said no thank you.
And Gary Carter with the tag at the plate too. What a throw that was by the Cobra.
Another Hall of Famer that died too young also, Gary Carter.
Yep.
Dave Parker passed away today, and probably at that point, 1978, 79, Parker was the MVP in 78 for the Pirates. You can make the argument he was maybe the best player in baseball at that time. In fact, if you go back and watch that clip of the 79 All-Star game, the broadcast team, I think Joe Garagiola was a part of it, talking about it in that moment, that this guy might be the best player in the entire game at that point.
He could run, he could hit for power, hit for average, tremendous defender with a plus throwing arm.
He had some time with the Angels near the end of his career as well. You know, the Angels traded Dante Bichette, who was an up-and-coming prospect, certainly, at the beginning of his career, for Dave Parker, who was almost 40 at the time of the deal. Well, Parker still was pretty good. He was an All-Star in 1990 for the Brewers, the year before the Angels got him. Father Time showed up in 1991. That was Parker's last year. He also was a coach for the Angels when you were there.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest guys I've ever been around in my life. He immediately you walk in, he made you laugh and smile.
This is Brady House fouling one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But one of the scariest hitters I ever faced in my career. He was on the plate and stood right on the plate. And I'm thinking, this is not comfortable. He had a line drive, and this went by my knee. I just prayed that it didn't hit because it went all the way almost to the air and did a center fielder.
He had a lot of his best years in the National League with the Pirates and the Reds. Actually an MVP runner-up for the Reds in 1985. But he was still pretty good on those A's teams. You know, he was kind of in the background with the Bash brothers and Dave Stewart and Dennis Eckersley, but he was right there with them as Oakland won the World Series in 1989. 1 ball, 2 strikes still on Brady House. But certainly a great figure of the 70s and 80s Major League Baseball scene, the Cobra, Dave Parker, and baseball certainly saddened by his loss, especially this close to his Hall of Fame induction. Brady House continuing to foul pitches off here against Hendricks to start the 2nd inning. A former first-round pick, drafted 11th overall.
I think he has a chance to be really special.
Hendricks doesn't get that called off the corner, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on House, who started to put it together in the Nationals organization last year. 19 home runs in the high minors, and this year especially so, hit over 300 at AAA. Loops this ball towards shallow center field, and Joe Adell over to make the play. 1 out.
Continues to get those good jumps on fly balls in the outfield. I love the fact that now as a center fielder, is the captain of the defense.
If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys bopping.
Oh, I'll tell you, that sense of humor was unreal. I mean, as a Philly fan growing up, that was a tough time because I knew the Phillies were going to struggle against that team back in, especially in '79. We are family.
The Pirates last won the World Series as Dalen Lyle looks at a strike. You know, interestingly, the Phillies and Pirates basically traded the National League East for about a decade there. I mean, it was one or the other for quite a while between those two franchises.
They always seem to come back against the Phillies and catch them at the end of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike on Lyle. The Pirates won the World Series in '79, but the Phillies won in 1980. And they were back and forth for quite a bit throughout the mid to late '70s and the end of the '80s. Really, '83 is when that kind of all ended, with the Phillies going to the World Series that year. It's when some of the other teams in the East started to get some power, the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Mets. But you know, for quite a while it was the Phillies or the Pirates racking up division titles. Right back to Hendricks.
Boy, does he field his position well. He's always, when he lands, he's in perfect fielding position. A lot of times you see pitchers when they're full max, they're going to fall over to first or third base side of the rubber, but he's right there, always in position to field that baseball.
So 2 up, 2 down. That's the first ground ball out for Hendricks. Here's Riley Adams, the catcher for the Nationals. The backup catcher, Keibert Ruiz, not going to see him. He has a concussion right now. As Adams looks at a strike, Ruiz and Adams have been the catching tandem in Washington for a number of years now. But neither has hit much. Adams, though, had a couple of hits yesterday. Who didn't for the Nationals? They had 15 runs on 19 hits last night. I like that game with the Pirates earlier this year, where they just had that one game where every single thing fell in.
And every time the Halos scored last night, they responded right away.
And just watching it from afar yesterday as the 1-1 comes to Adams. Oh, it's getting spoiled by all these close wins. I mean, you figure the Angels playing a team that they have a better record than. It was back and forth. You just figured they were going to win, and then all of a sudden, the Washington was the team that pulled away.
Yeah, when you were looking at numbers, how their bullpen had struggled, but they have a change in their bullpen. A lot more younger arms than they did at the beginning of the season. A lot more veterans.
It was the opposite for the Angels. You know, they had all the young arms early in the year, then decided to go to the veterans, and then they changed their tune. I mean, for a while, the Angels and Nationals were both last in bullpen ERA. Washington still down there. The Angels had their dramatic turnaround in the middle of May after they started to go to some veteran pitchers. That was a Bouncer up the middle and a base hit for Adams. So he has his third hit of this series. A guy hitting a $120.
Sinker, about 89-mile-an-hour sinker. Again, another baseball not hit hard. There's contact made. There's going to be contact made against Kyle Hendricks. He's not a guy that's going to strike out a whole lot, although he did have a big punch-out game against the Yankees in which he punched out 9. This inside out on that one.
3 hits for Washington, and that'll bring up the center fielder Jacob Young. Young is a tremendous defender in center field. It's really his calling card as he looks at a strike.
Yeah, he can go get a baseball. He's got great speed.
Hendricks ate him up with that fastball high and tight.
Yeah, we're going back to the keys of the game. Have the hitters guessing and guessing wrong. Looked like he might have been looking change-up. Got a fastball instead. 87-mile-an-hour fastball, but way late on it because he's looking all speed.
No balls, 2 strikes with Adams at first. And that's strike 3 over the outer part of the plate as Hendricks records his first strikeout to end the top of the second. Baseball certainly mourning the loss of the great Cobra, Dave Parker, the Hall of Famer.
If you know luxury, it's not just award-winning, it's rewarding. Saatva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Saatva to friends and family. Saatva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
The true West has no fences. There's an edge, but you gotta find it. Find comfort from the traditions that help define it, and the confidence from having the courage to defy it. But being brave isn't about being different. It's about being yourself. Now, we might not need more people in the West, but would it hurt to have a little more West in the people?
Second base on the dirt. Ray Montgomery said before the game, trying to get him comfortable overall, but mostly trying to get him comfortable sliding in with those feet first, considering he jammed that shoulder, that surgically repaired shoulder, sliding into second base against the Red Sox the other night. So it was the training staff, Ray Montgomery, Ryan Goins, Eric Young Sr., all out there checking in on Neto, who just said it's going to take some getting used to. It's just going to be instinct when he does eventually have to slide into second base. But Gogo told me before the game the biggest adjustment will have to be not slowing down, knowing how to use the bag as an anchor when your foot hits, and maybe putting those hands up too, like we've seen Shohei Ohtani do, slide with his hands up.
Well, Taylor Ward gets hit by a pitch here, so he'll lead off the second by reaching base, but certainly makes all the sense in the world for Neto to make that adjustment, considering how valuable he is to this team.
Yeah, I mean, and the way he looked today, you could see that he really understands how important he is to the team. Whatever it takes to keep him on the field, keep him playing every day. Got him right there on that little padding on that elbow area, the tricep area. But yeah, keeping Zach Neto in that lineup is the most important thing. And he's a great athlete. His slide looked good there in the outfield, and then at second base, he'll pick that up quickly.
Joe Adell has been playing at an all-star level here in the month of June. He has hit 11 home runs this month. He is tied with Juan Soto for the most home runs in the major leagues in June. Now is 18 on the year, and his OPS has jumped over 800. It has been an unbelievable turnaround for Joe Adell, even within this season, let alone where he was 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Amazing what he was doing, how he was struggling against fastballs early in the season. He's turned that one around. Total bases, really. I mean, it's unreal. Second best in the American League in June.
A new confidence at the plate and in the outfield too. We were talking about his play in center field before. Pops this one up foul and out of play. 2 balls and a strike on Adell. But he has matured so much as a major league player from a guy who certainly had every possible skill set, but had not really learned how to use that on a big league diamond. And here he is, only 26 still.
Yep.
And he has been able to turn himself into a really good player here, at least for the last month. He has looked the part of a guy who can be a cornerstone for this team. Ball 3 to Adell.
That sounded like it got something, either the bat or his hand.
Home plate umpire taking a look, Nick Marley. It looks like.
Oh, that hurt something there. Wow, that almost looked like it got his hand.
Angels will not challenge. See Ryan Goins now in that bench coach role, which Ray Montgomery has certainly had a lot of time in.
I feel that there's a good chance that Joe Adell is going to get a hold of one of Soroka's fastballs today, I think.
3 balls, 1 strike. Adell came up empty on that swing with the fastball that was up in the zone, 3-2. Soroka has now hit 9 batters this year. Only Joe Ryan of the Twins and Nick Lodolo of the Reds have hit more. Taylor Ward hit by a pitch to start this inning. Full count on Adell. He lines it over Abrams into left center field.
Boy, he hits a lot of things really hard. He did last night with a home run and a rocket up the middle.
The only hope there was that he had hit it so hard Abrams couldn't time it. And that's exactly what happened.
And his swing is just so on time right now. That was 107 off the bat. And it's that little bit of a leg kick and get that foot down has made the difference. By the way, Wood did a nice job of cutting that baseball off. That was a rocket out there to the outfield.
Ward still ended up at third, but Adell stays at first, and the Angels threaten here in the second. With men on the corners and nobody out. Here's O'Hoppe. The Angels have hit so many home runs to start the year, second most in franchise history through this point in the season. Hoppy up there as well with 17. He got 20 homers from Taylor Ward at third base. Adell on first base, he's at 18. The guy at the plate with 17. Logan O'Hoppe, the middle of the order, has certainly provided a lot of punch throughout this season. 2 balls, no strikes on Logan.
Good take. Being patient there, knowing the spot right here to drive in a run. You're looking for something you could do some damage, but not going to help the pitcher out.
Washington has their infield back after a 15-9 game yesterday. They don't think 1 run's enough tonight. And a bouncing ball will bring the run home, but also give the Nationals the 2 outs that they were seeking. So it's 1-0 Angels, but no RBI for O'Hoppe.
It's a tough one there too, especially when you work yourself into a good count, and he threw a sinker on that one.
The Angels do take the lead. Here is Lamont Wade Jr. playing right field once again. Angels have not had Jorge Soler for the last week or so. We haven't seen Yohan Moncada in a while. Doesn't sound like either are due back imminently. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wade.
Hyundai key for the game today. Yeah, Christmas in June. Rock around the Christmas tree. Get that offense rocking and rolling again today. Saw it last night. This is a little bit more on the halo side.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, Soler hit the ball today, though. At least he was out on the field swinging the bat in early batting practice. Moncada, I saw him. He said he feels a lot better today. I mean, each day it's a little bit of increase on how well he's been feeling, which is a good sign.
Wade with a fly ball to center field. Should be easy for Jacob Young. Angels got a couple of men on to start the inning. 1 does come home, and it's 1-0 Angels.
podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network Podcast, presented by New Balance. Available wherever you get your podcasts. In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
We got our hands up in the air, 'cause it's a party. We having fun here, 'cause it's a party. Oh my, this guy is next level. Oh my goodness.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Good morning. Love spending our day with you.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns.
Let your swing get you back to 50-50.
Interviews with the players.
Games. This is game-changing, people.
If I ever get the chance to do this, I'm never saying no.
And a little bit.
It's a scam. No one's that happy.
This is a look.
Of everything else. The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
Out here in the third inning with the top of the order due up for Washington. Coors Light's beating the pressure. The Angels, through the first 81 games, have not varied from their starting five. Has only happened a few times in the last 12 years, dating back to 2013. Hendricks part of that group in 2016 with the Cubs that did the same thing. Worked out pretty good for them that year, as I recall.
Oh, for sure. That way you could set up your bullpen too.
C.J. Abrams leading off here in the third inning as he takes ball 2 from Hendricks. Abrams fly to right field his first time. Hitting .366 over his last 17 games. This guy's really turned into a very good player and has a legitimate all-star candidacy. Although at a crowded position in the National League. Ellie De La Cruz having a great year for the Reds. Francisco Lindor and Mookie Betts will battle for the all-star fan vote next week. 2 balls and a strike here on Abrams. Still just 24 years old. As he fouls one back. You know, some around the Nationals are wondering if they're going to start locking some of these guys up long term with Abrams, Wood, and Gore starting to run through some of their service time.
Yeah, you would think they would, because then you have your core together and then you have to start building around them.
Great comes back for strike 3 over the inside corner.
That's that Greg Maddux like two-seamer at the hip, brings it in the inside corner. The other professor. Just the perfect pitch. You freeze him. You went away with the pitch before. Freeze him. Right in there. Nice job by O'Hoppe there too, framing that, keeping that right there.
One out in the batter, James Wood, who had a base hit his first time. Breaking ball drops in for a strike from Hendricks to Wood. Wood is actually from the D.C. area, went to high school in D.C., grew up in Rockville, Maryland. So not only is he one of the top young players in the game, he's a hometown product. And as a roller up the middle is handled by Newman, and Wood, his long strides, gets thrown out. 2 up, 2 down.
Nice job by Newman being right there in that position. Especially you see that a lot with the Angels with left-handed batters. The shortstop's almost directly behind the base. Still staying within the, on the realm of being able to make sure you're in the shortstop position, but a lot of times it's right back up the middle like you're seeing again here.
2 outs and the base is empty for Luis Garcia. He's out in front of that changeup like he was earlier. Pops it up just like he did earlier. This time Rengifo makes the catch for a 1-2-3 inning.
Good shutdown inning too for Kyle Hendricks.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
Some moments are too big to miss.
4 swings, 4 homers. Kyle Tucker, you are
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the biggest plays from around the league as they happen.
What a play! Oh, my goodness!
Plus, highlights and reactions from the moments that matter most.
You know, good to get that win today, but gotta keep going.
MLB Tonight, only on MLB Network. Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan, and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns every game night. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show, live at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
We got our hands up in the air.
My, oh my.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
To receive those special jerseys. Christian Moore leads off here in the bottom of the third against Mike Soroka. One upstairs to Moore.
Some nice at bats yesterday. Worked a couple walks, base hit, scored a run. That's a nasty pitch. He caught the lower part of the strike zone.
Ball one strike on Moore. Angels got on the board in the second inning against Soroka. And now 2-1 the count.
Throwing a few more sinkers than normal. Had been throwing a lot of four-seamers. Back to using that sinker. Got a big double play ball against Logan O'Hoppe on a sinker.
3 balls and a strike now. Angels scoring first tonight, something they haven't done since last Sunday against Houston, even with all 3 of the wins against Boston that were come from behind. It's a strike, and it's 3-2.
Painted 2 fastballs in the outside corner against Moore so far.
Interesting time here for the Angels as their manager has to take care of his health, and now Ray Montgomery steps into that role as the interim manager. As Moore strikes out swinging here, how does that affect the personality of the team, or the nature of just having one of the leadership members of the team, a guy you see every day, not here anymore?
When we talk about baseball as an everyday sport, I mean, to have Ron Washington there every day, just be able to have those conversations both as a player and as part of your coaching staff, it is different not having him there. But I think the big thing is that the continuity with this coaching staff now, and to be able to have that voice for the players, is going to make that transition just a little bit easier. But we're all sending our prayers to Ron Washington, hoping everything's going to go well and he's going to feel better real soon.
Balls in a strike here on Kevin Newman as he fouls one off his foot, and it's 0-2. Certainly an unexpected turn of events in the middle of a long season. Certainly a steadiness that Ray Montgomery brings about with him. A guy who knows the game inside and out.
The scouting department, coaching, playing.
A solid presence that's been continuous around here for the last number of years now. There's that slurve, and Newman ducked under what ended up being strike 3. Newman looked like he saw a ghost.
I did catch the inside corner also. You give up on it, think it's going to be in at you, and spins it right back and catches the inside corner. The old saying, I was at Uncle Charlie used to say that in the dugout.
First 2 strikeouts for Soroka. Was a lot of hockey background. He's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. His dad played in the WHL for the Saskatoon Blades. Nifo did not need that piece of equipment anymore. Mike Soroka's favorite player when he was a kid was Mika Kiprasov.
Remember that name?
Growing up in Calgary.
Was it Tiger Williams at all?
There's a strike. What about Iginla? Remember him with the Flames?
Oh, great player, but I wouldn't want to mix it up with him either.
No balls and a strike. Soroka maybe a little big for hockey. 6'5", 250.
Like Chara on skates, about 12 feet tall on the ice.
1 ball, 1 strike. He trains in the offseason in Calgary. He trains with bobsledders and speed skaters and hockey players. They got all kinds of different Olympic style athletes. And Soroka's around when he gets ready for the next season.
So far, he's really mixed his pitches well here, from a four-seamer to sinker, a slurve, his changeup.
1 ball, 2 strikes as Renifo takes the breaking ball low, and it's 2-2. Renifo has done well in the leadoff spot in the past. Certainly did last year when he had 356 in that role. And around 300 overall last season. Lined out his first time today, and he takes ball 3 here.
Slurve coming into this game, he threw about 36%. His pitches is slurve, but so far today about 22%. His fastball has been pretty effective.
This is his first career start as an Angel, or against the Angels rather. Got a handful of full counts already, and on this one he walks Renifo. 2 outs, and the batter Nolan Shotwell, Angels first round pick a couple of years ago, quick to the major leagues. It's been a theme over the last few years. The Angels have the number 2 pick in this year's draft, behind the Nationals, who have the number 1 pick. Shotwell pops this one up. Abrams gets in position for it and makes the catch. Had a little trouble with it, but he's able to make the play, and that ends the 3rd.
I want to talk about the Angels. They're my big surprise team of 2025.
The Angels make sure the halo will shine brightly tonight.
The energy level and the swag and the confidence.
It is Crowder here.
Game's on notice.
Magneto magnificent.
High octane. It is fuel. It is hot. It's coming at you in a big way.
It was 105.5 miles an hour.
No way.
The Halos are unstoppable right now.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte, he's done it one more time.
The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte.
There goes Corbin. Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
Goodbye, Snakes alive.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
We got our hands up in the air. My, oh my.
Well, that's a great baseball comment. And good guess, by the way.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
We're flashing back to earlier this season. Some magical moments here at the Big A, and perhaps the Angels in the outfield had something to do with this walk-off win against the Blue Jays. Jorge Soler was the game winner in that one. So it's Christmas in June tonight at the Big A. So of course the Angels in the outfield had to be here. We've got John, we've got Eddie, Angels in the outfield. We're gonna get into the crazy things you guys have seen so far this season, but I gotta know, where did the story come from? Where did it happen, John?
Well, I've been a fan my whole life, and you know, we were kind of sitting in the stadium last year, and I couldn't believe that there were no Angels in Angel Stadium at all. So, you know, we just kind of thought, let's make it a little louder in the stadium, and let's bring some Angels. Let's make it hype, and let's get excited, and you know, let's put the Angels in the outfield. You know, I mean, the movie's there for a reason. Like, let's do it.
Eddie, was it an easy sell for you to get the Angels costume on and come hang in the outfield?
Absolutely. It was no question about it. No, right when John told me, like, hey, we need to bring
bring some amp and we need to bring some pump right to Anaheim. We've needed this, you know, and the fans love it. Everybody's having a good time, you know. It's a family accord every single time that we come out here. It's been a great experience every single time that we come out here.
Well said. I mean, what's been the response? You guys have been in a different location seemingly every single time. Why not get like a whole group and just get a whole section of Angels in the outfield?
Well, we haven't, honestly, like we've had a lot of people that we've asked to like come be Angels with us, and like, you know, we're not like, we don't own this in any way. Like if you want to dress up and come join us, like we'd love you to. And, you know, like, but we've been trying to get our friends and trying to get groups of people to come dress as Angels. And, like, you know, not all that many people want to, but, like, we get as many as we can. And, you know, we get, like, 3 or 4 together, and we just get excited, you know?
Well, with your TV debut tonight, well, at least the talking part of your TV debut tonight, it might, the group might grow a little bit. So let's talk about that Soler walk-off winner earlier this season. You guys were literally in the corner in left field where the ball went. What'd you think?
It was incredible. I was kind of dumbfounded, like just in shock. Like we were standing there. If you saw the video, we're going like this. We're just cheering. We were yelling at the left fielder too. Like we were hoping he bobbled it, and he did. He bobbled it. We watched the game winner go. I stood on top of my chair, which, you know, I've had a couple ushers tell me I'm not allowed to do, but I stood on top of my chair for like a good 3 minutes, was just screaming. We were walking around, we were screaming and cheering until they literally kicked us out because we were so excited. Like, I don't think I've ever been to a baseball game that intense or that exciting in my life.
You're the Angels in the outfield. You should be able to stand on the chair, but I just heard that you guys met Gooby after the game, but John, you missed meeting Gooby after the game.
I haven't met Gooby yet. No, I
gotta make that happen.
I am a little sad about that. I am excited to meet Gooby. I want to meet Gooby for sure.
He chimes in down the row. I have, of course. He's the lucky. You hugged him. Okay, well, we're going to make that happen. So you also saw Nolan Shawneewell's walk-off, and the show goes on the road to Petco for Taylor Ward's go-ahead grand slam there, too.
The grand slam we saw was right above us. We were sitting by the left field wall they have in Petco, and I mean, it was just incredible because we saw 3 walk-offs in the course of less than a month. And, you know, I just can't believe the baseball we've been seeing from the Angels this year. It's just been incredible. Like, it's really exciting to get hype and, you know, get energetic and, you know, to be the Angels in the outfield. We love it.
Who knows? Maybe more magic in store tonight. What's the you know, the feud? You guys do birthday parties? Like, what's next?
I mean, we haven't yet, but we will. You know what I mean? Like we're available for rent. You know, we can make it happen.
Let's go. Let's go. Enjoy it, guys. Thanks for the time. We really appreciate it. Who knows what we're going to see tonight? Gooby, Wayne, back to you.
Why don't they just float in the booth and come say hello to you?
Come on up and say hi. Come on. We need more Angels in the outfield fans here dressed up for the games.
Brady House takes ball 1. Yeah, let's do some recruiting.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on TV now. They got a little following.
Yes, they do.
So it's time to recruit. Drive up the numbers.
Get it going, Wayne. You're Mr. Social Media. Let's go.
1 ball, no strikes on Brady House as he takes a strike over the outside corner from Kyle Hendricks' changeup. Leadoff hit from Nathaniel Lowe in this inning. 4 singles for the Nationals. Even those haven't been hit terribly hard here against Hendricks. A lot of soft contact again tonight.
Well, Nathaniel Lowe, no matter what uniform he has on, he's had good swings against the Halos.
He hit about 220 this year, but 2 for 2.
Yes. Yeah. Couple doubles last night. Already with 5 hits in the series. 5.
Now, the Nationals themselves have 23 hits in the first 13 innings of this series after 19 last night and 4 today. The Angels only have 1 today, but they do have 1 run. The Nationals don't have any. 2 balls, 2 strikes on House. A swing and a miss, strike 3.
Another strikeout on a fastball, 87-mile-an-hour fastball, perfect spot. If he makes contact with that, more than likely that's on the ground. Good target set, good target hit by Kyle Hendricks.
Three strikeouts now for Hendricks tonight. Dalen Lyle is the batter. First pitch curveball lands for strike 1. Hendricks 3-0 with an ERA of 3.5 in the month of June. Disappeared on him in the middle of his last start. He got off to a very good outing, and then suddenly he was giving up some runs in a hurry in that last outing against Houston.
Yeah, remember, a lot of those pitches end up going in the middle of the plate. He was living on the edges and shadows so effectively. He said for some reason, has lost his feel for his pitches that last game out.
It happens to him from time to time. As Lyle lifts a fly ball to center field. It's carrying some as Adele goes back pretty far to the track. to make that catch.
That ball had some carry to it. Seen some baseballs carrying pretty good of late.
Off Base is coming in a brand new format. Join Lauren Gardner and Xavier Scruggs as they explore all the baseball buzz across social media, pop culture, and around the majors. The Off Base Podcast, all season long, only on MLB Network. In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
This is a guy who has MVP type potential.
Luis Robert is one of the most talented players in the league.
Great nickname, La Pantera.
Can do it anywhere on the field.
He has the potential to be a 30-30 guy that can knock in 95 to 100 runs.
As a fan of the game, there's nobody I enjoy watching in center field than Mr. Luis Robert.
In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November.
And while some hits climb the charts to become crowd favorites,
Sheer dominance from Scooble.
others could go from the first round
The Los Angeles Angels select Michael Trout
to the first ballot.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
Mike Trout leads off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Our Kia player profile on Trout. And the Angels, who've hit a lot of home runs, 121 through the first 81 games, the exact midway point of the season, the second most they've had in the first half of a season in franchise history. They had 125 in 2000. A lot of strikeouts have gone with it. They haven't walked that much generally, although Trout's been walking a lot lately. And looks at a strike. Really, the whole team has. If you go back to the last 9 games entering today, the Angels have hit 21 home runs while drawing 38 walks.
Trout's been taking the first pitch a lot lately. A lot of first pitch strikes. When you look at his career on the first pitch, when he's put in play, he's a .406 hitter with 32 home runs and an OPS of 1179 on the first pitch put in play.
Balls 2 strikes here on Trout, leading off in the fourth against Soroka. Those 21 homers and 38 walks over the last 9 games. Just the third time in franchise history the Angels have put together a stretch like that. They've been able to get on base a lot more. It's turned some of those home runs into multiple run homers, which they've needed after hitting so many solo homers. They still hit the most in the majors with 82, but we have seen at least some of those start to turn around lately.
Yeah, when you think about how many runs, I mean, how they've been scoring runs, about 49.9% of runs are scored on a home run.
Trout inside outs, 1 foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Talked in the last inning about Kyle Hendricks at times losing it right in the middle of a game. That's happened to Soroka too. His ERA in the fourth inning is over 7 this year. Trout pops this one up. Lyle got a late start, still coming in. He gets there, 1 out. Go back in time with your Halos. It'll be throwback week at the Big A. The first 25,000 fans Friday, July 11th will receive a reversible throwback bucket hat courtesy of Yakult Probiotic Drink. Visit angels.com/promotions for more info. I'm seeing some of those old photos of Dave Parker and that throwback California Angels look from the early 1990s. Then when he came back to coach, you know, the Angels were wearing their wings.
Yes.
He's the only guy, no offense, he's the only guy that made it look cool to have the wings on.
What are you trying to say, Wayne?
I don't know. Maybe I got to see a few more pictures of you in it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Taylor Warren. I think the Angels are best off with the halo and how they have their current logo. They tried the wings for a while. And it's a nostalgic look in some sense, but I think Dave Parker rocked the wings better than anybody.
Oh, of course he would.
By the way, the Nationals, they could use a new look. What is this is the blandest jersey I've ever seen in my life.
Wayne, you are back.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, what happened here? Somebody designed this? Oh. Area code games have better jerseys, have more creativity. Taylor Ward strikes out, 2 away.
Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud and what Joe Adell has done as far as that power, where he's had it in the month of June, that home run power. He's hit the ball to all over the ballpark, showing some tremendous power. Time for this most in Major League Baseball. He's pulled some center field, some right center field too.
Opposite field shot last night as he looks at a strike here. 11 home runs in the month of June.
That off opposite field in Yankee Stadium too.
Angel record for homers in a month is 15. Probably not enough time to get to that, but he's close, and he certainly had a great month. And he's just 2 away from his career high. You know, again, the halfway point yesterday, so it's easy to discover the pace. And right now, Adell with 18 home runs, on pace for 36 this year.
You look at your 4, 5, and 6 hitters with 20, 18, and 17 as far as home runs.
Entering today, nobody had hit more homers than the Angels dating back to June 18th, and we see the homers most in any month for an Angel is Shohei's 15 in June of 23.
While he was pitching also.
Unbelievable. 1-2. Adell takes ball 2 on that one from Soroka. There's always something extra special about the days Shohei pitches with him in the lineup. I mean, it is still such a sight to behold.
It's still, you almost think it's impossible what he did here, and still doing.
He hasn't had those long outings yet. 2 innings today. They're working him back slowly. But what he did in an Angels uniform as a pitcher and hitter combo. I mean, in 2022, he was a top 5 or 6 in Cy Young votes.
Yes.
Bouncer off the play. This might be a tough play. Garcia has to hurry. Adell's fast, but he's out on a close play to end the inning.
San Diego's a dangerous team.
Man, they have enough talent to run the table.
Every game here is like a party. Manny Machado walks it off!
Fans are also playing a part. They're affecting the game.
Fernando Tatis Jr., electric!
The team that we got in there, man, we're ready to compete. We're ready to handle the unfinished business that we have.
The towels flying, the fans going nuts.
Welcome to Slam Diego!
The MLB Network podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network podcast, presented by New Balance, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks.
There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight.
The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball. This place doesn't know what hit him.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues. Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
Leave the Big A in style during Throwback Week. The first 25,000 fans Saturday, July 12th will receive a throwback long sleeve shirt courtesy of Miller Children's and Women's Hospital. Visit angels.com/promotions. Some visitors here at the ballpark tonight. That is Matt Holliday with the hat on, the longtime major leaguer, and his son Ethan is supposed to be a top pick in the upcoming draft. And you know, they don't have to play their hand at all, because the Angels and the Nationals own the top 2 picks, so this is a perfect chance for Ethan Holliday
to say hi to both sides of the dugouts. Matt Holliday, he was an incredible player.
Yeah, and apparently a good businessman as well.
Yes.
Riley Adams looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Of course, Ethan's brother Jackson has blossomed for the Orioles this year at second base. Despite all the talent around Southern California, especially those kids at Corona High School this year. Well, Ethan Holiday goes to Stillwater High School in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Matt Holliday's hometown.
How about that talent in that family?
I think that he has the letter M for Matt on his hat, or maybe for Mark. That is your name. That is your first name.
Is it? I never hear like, who's that?
Despite popular opinion.
I have no idea who that is.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Riley Adams leading off here in the 5th inning. Well, the draft will be in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow. The draft.
It's great to live with George Brett. My first 2 years in the major leagues, he had no idea my name was Mark. No idea.
Did he know his name was George some of those days?
Probably not.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Adams.
Great pitch there. That's a good take, though. A little below the strike zone, but that's a really impressive take.
Adams with a base hit his first time tonight. Hendricks has held the Nationals off the board, but hasn't gotten much run support on his own side. Adams strikes out.
After that changeup just off the plate, 88-mile-an-hour sinker. Another punch out for Kyle Hendricks. It's a great sequence. Separates about 8 miles per hour on those 2 pitches.
Well, Ethan Holiday is not necessarily the hands down #1 pick. As Jacob Young flies one to center field. Adele's there. Not necessarily wouldn't make him the hands down #2 pick either, but he's certainly someone that will have his name called pretty early a couple of weeks from tomorrow.
Just looking at his swing, he's going to be really good. And remember, he's just a high school kid, but being around his brother and his dad like this, just the instincts he already has, baseball instincts, makes you feel he's going to be a superstar.
Well, his brother was drafted #1 overall just 3 years ago, so even though a high school player, it might not take him long to get to the big leagues. Abrams with a fly ball deep, and Adele back for it. It's gone. Boy, the last couple innings, we've really seen the ball carry, and C.J. Abrams sends one out to tie the game.
It's that power he has the other way. We've seen that a lot from this Nationals lineup. Saw it last night, seen it throughout the season. A lot of power the other way for their lefties.
You can't make a mistake up either to this guy. It's Abrams who's hit his 12th home run.
But it's right out over the plate, then try the pull, and then that goes a long way the other way.
And the 5th homer allowed by Hendricks to a lefty this year. So with 2 outs, Abrams ties it up, and now James Wood, who had a base hit earlier, stands in here. Wood cuts through that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wood bounced out his last time. .22 home runs, leads the way for Washington. An all-star candidate certainly in his own right, along with Abrams. There's strike 3 called from Hendricks at the bottom of the zone. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, but a game-tying homer from C.J. Abrams makes it 1-1.
Don't know who can clean this? Thumbtack knows. Get recommendations for every kind of home project. Hire the right pro today. Don't know who can clean this? Thumbtack knows. Get recommendations for every kind of home project. Hire the right pro today.
Abrams as Soroka goes up against Logan O'Hoppe to start the inning. O'Hoppe hit to a double play his last time. It did bring home a run as Taylor Ward came home. It's really the only scoring chance the Angels have had tonight. Against Soroka, delivers ball one.
Yeah, just that one hit. He's only allowed one walk in this game too. Hit by pitch. Ended up coming around to score for Taylor Ward.
Falls behind O'Hoppe 2-0.
This is one of those at bats right here. He was 2-0 last time and he got him to swing at a sinker, was down. Try to bring that fastball up this time around.
It was right in the zone and O'Hoppe let it go by. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Sometimes when you have that 2-0 pitch and you help them out, you're more apt to not be as aggressive, but you want to be aggressive 2-0.
Soroka gets back in the zone and evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Hoppe, then Wade and Moore due up here in the 5th. So after all the scoring last night, it's been a pitcher's duel today between Hendricks and Soroka.
Both pitchers pretty efficient so far too.
Soroka starts to give it up that 3rd time around in the order. Opponents with an OPS of 1083 3rd time around.
Yeah, he really struggles when you look at his numbers in the 6th inning and later.
Hoppe with a pop up here and foul ground. Nathaniel Lowe runs in for it to make the catch. 1 out. And the Nationals and their uniforms over the years, they had a little typo a number of years ago, and the Nationals took the field in Washington, D.C. I see Ryan Zimmerman and Adam Dunn rocking the Olis Nationals jersey.
Gives you more fuel, doesn't it, Wayne, now?
Well, I don't know that they've ever had a good uniform, but they certainly don't right now. I know that. Mont Wade takes ball 1. Listen, that happens. They just got to go back to the drawing board. They'll figure it out. There was a time where the Padres thought they might be moving to Washington, D.C., and they came up with these jerseys that were ready-made for the Padres if they did make the move. And they kind of looked like that. They just scribbled Washington on a jersey, and that was the enticement for the Padres to move across the country, which obviously did not happen. And it looks like they just borrowed that look from the 1970s when they thought the Padres were coming over.
I'm just wondering how you really feel about these jerseys right now. Not quite getting that feel yet.
I just feel like going to a pharmacy when I see the Nationals. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wade. Of course, they did get a team. They got the Montreal Expos. As the count goes full on Wade, and they still kind of sometimes they count Nationals, Expos history. The Nationals have been around themselves now for 20 years, yes. So it's been a while, and they have their own history now. They've won a World Series. They still kind of include Montreal stuff when they feel like it's convenient, as Wade pops this one up. Garcia is there for the 2nd out, but I contest that they should never do that. Leave the Expos where they were. You're not the Expos. Experience Angels baseball. I'm sure these two agree. Experience Angels baseball with the Friends and Family Fun Pack for only $44. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 soft drinks. They're talking about it right now.
Yeah, and I think she said no to you.
Well, yeah. For more information regarding the Friends and Family Fun Pack, call 714-4-ANGELS or visit angels.com/funpack.
We were in deep thought.
I think that they were talking exactly about the history of the Montreal Expos and how irritating it is when they get lumped into the Nationals. I think the lady on the right especially would agree with you.
Yes. Well, at least she agrees with you. She don't ever agree with me.
A ball's 2 strikes on Moore, who waves and misses to end the inning. That's who they were talking about right there.
Right this second at some convenience store somewhere, man, I'm thirsty. Someone really wants a soda. But that same someone's stuck between something with too much buzz or something way too boring. What if there were a better soda?
Hey, yo! Read the sign.
Weird policy, but okay.
Get a poppy.
Okay, that's what's up. A soda with 5 grams of sugar?
Drink it, you buy it.
Dude, yes.
Guess I'm buying it.
Dave likes things hot. So when he wanted to heat up his sex life, he came to us. Rove Sparks dual action formula acts fast and lasts long, so you will too. 2 ingredients in 1 spark means more for everyone. Now, when she wants the heat,
I got the spark.
we got you, Dave. Connect with the provider and find out if Sparks are right for you at rode.co/sparks.
Hendricks struck out 5 in 5 innings, and he's done with just 1 run allowed tonight.
I mean, he was outstanding. He threw the ball exceptionally well throughout the entire game. No walks. Their T-Mobile coverage cam of what he was covering on the edges and shadows the entire game. He had some punch outs with 89 with his fastball, but his changeup very, very good too.
Jose Fermin is the new pitcher here in the 6th inning as Garcia looks at a strike. Now Garcia 0 for 2 tonight. Nathaniel Lowe, couple of hits, and then Josh Bell due up in this 6th inning here. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just different how Ray Montgomery manages some of these outings compared to how Ron Washington did. The sense that Wash would have let Hendricks go back out to start this 6th inning, whereas Ray Montgomery, a little bit more by the numbers, has decided to go to the bullpen before it blows up on Hendricks.
Yeah, he was thinking of what you see that 3rd time through, but the way he threw the baseball, it's tough to be able to take out a starting pitcher with this pedigree like that, the way he was throwing the ball today for Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah, I mean, just an observation. It's just different.
Yep.
And that's how more managers and teams use their starting pitchers at times, when they have a guy that is more of a 5-inning type pitcher these days. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fermin back on the roster today, and Hector Neris DFA'd.
Now that was surprising too, because he did a real nice job for the Halos. Hopefully somehow, some way, he'll be able to be around at some point again. He was really good, and great guy to have around the clubhouse too.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Garcia, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-ups on the infield tonight.
He was really the cleaner. He came in so many innings with some traffic, and he was able to get through them.
Yeah, Hunter Strickland, veteran in that bullpen. Connor Brogdon, a veteran. Guys who've had some mixed outings of late. But it was Neris who ended up being DFA'd of that group. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A swing and a miss. Garcia chased a pitch way out of the zone that would have been ball 4.
It's another good slider, 91.
So Fermin strikes out the first batter he faces.
Especially when you see the difference between the 2 pitchers, from Kyle Hendricks down to Fermin, and that slider, nasty.
One away. We sent it downstairs to Erica.
Yeah, tough decision to see Hector Neris go. Ray Montgomery spoke about it before the game. Great for the time he was here in terms of what he brought to the bullpen. Settled down some of those young kids down there. Obviously a great veteran presence, but with Fermin here, obviously he's a big part of what the Angels are going to do going forward. And unfortunately, he said that's just part of the game. Somebody has to be replaced. He appreciates everything that he did. He was a big resource for some of those young guys, and obviously he was good while he was here, but now it's time for Fermin to show us what he can do.
2 balls, no strikes on Nathaniel Lowe.
So the key is for Fermin is when you look at him, I mean, he's made that jump quickly up to the major league himself, but he's got to be controlling the strike zone because he's got that wipeout slider.
Sounds like Robert Stephenson's getting closer to coming back too, as Lowe pops this one up on the infield. So Fermin out of the bullpen, gets Lowe retired for the first time today. 2 up, 2 down.
It's a big time win getting him out with 5 hits in this series so far.
So now Bell will bat. Bell DHing tonight. Still has a lot of power. We saw it last night with a home run, hitting on the interstate right now under 200, but can't go to sleep on Josh Bell at the plate. 32 years old now. Jose Soriano had a tough time yesterday as Bell takes that one bounced in there, and O'Hoppe kept it at home plate. You know, for all the talk about that trade with the Padres, Wood and Mackenzie Gore and C.J. Abrams, you know, Josh Bell was in that trade too, going to San Diego. He was part of that deal from the Nationals along with Juan Soto. The Padres made a bunch of moves at that trade deadline to try to bolster their roster, and now Josh Bell with a fly ball to right, hit pretty well over toward the corner is Wade. He has room, and he ends the inning.
Yeah, that was that happy zone, just missed that one.
1-2-3 inning for Fermin.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
Compassionate expert care for everyone in the region. Learn more at UCIHealth.org. And by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s Sourdough Star is back in the burger lineup for a limited time. Don't lie, you know you missed it. Santa taking some early orders.
Santa!
In June. There's my Bob Newhart chair. There's Kevin Newman ripping one through the left side. That's a base hit.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that one, Wayne.
I thought we were going to do a bit.
I had my buddy the Elf gear ready.
I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Good swing here from Newman. Fastball up. He jumped on it. About 101 off the bat. Lead off knock.
Hanging down in the groundskeeper storage area. I think I see that Buddy the Elf outfit of yours. In case you want to throw it on whenever.
Oh, yes.
Here's Luis Rengifo. He looks like a jolly elf on the video board.
Yes. And he played extremely deep in the outfield, except for left field. And he's got that look.
Yeah,
he's an angry elf there a little bit. As they would say in
yeah.
in Elf, he was a South Pole elf.
1 ball, 1 strike, taking his elfdom very seriously on the video board here at the Big A tonight. Ifo walked his last time. Only walk issued by Soroka. Hit by pitch that came around to score the only run so far back in the 2nd inning. Now Rengifo hooks one to the right field corner, but foul. With Newman leading off here in the 6th, reaching base, only the 2nd time the Angels have had their leadoff man on base tonight. Trying to break this 1-1 tie.
See if those struggles start to happen again. That 3rd time through, you're seeing guys move around a little bit down there in the bullpen. And some action going now. Realizing those numbers changed dramatically the 3rd time through.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Rengifo gets sawed off, bounces it back to Soroka, gets to Abrams for 1, and the return throw in time for a double play. A broken bat roller right back to the mound, and a good job by Soroka to quickly start that twin killing.
And Abrams got a lot on that throw too. Tied him up. 4-seam fastball. Soroka did a nice job of staying low like he was an infielder, and then Adams a lot on that throw.
2 outs and the base is empty now for Shonowell.
Abrams has a good arm. He's got a chance to be a real elite defender at some point. There's been a few mistakes, but he's got some serious talent at shortstop.
Some issues on the routine plays. 9 errors for Abrams this year.
Yeah, he's -3 defensive run saves this year, but last couple of years 4 defensive run saves combined.
Shonowell pops it up, so Mike Soroka has been good tonight. 6 innings, 1 run allowed. He keeps it tied.
We do not talk about this superstar enough, and that's Rafael Devers.
6th straight game with a home run.
Jarren Duran is an extra base machine.
I've just always been like that guy that keeps his head down and works hard.
Swing and a miss.
Crochet's got that kind of electric stuff.
This green monster is tailor-made for Alex Bregman's swing. Great fit for Bregman, great fit for the Red Sox.
This was the piece that they really needed.
The guy's a winner. He's got all the talent.
The Red Sox are a much better team this year than they were last year.
Yordan Alvarez is just becoming this consistent hitting machine.
The big man who wears 44 is 4 for 4.
Face of the franchise, everything that is Houston now.
He's top 5 in every category for the Houston Astros historically.
Always just assume they're going to play in the ALCS.
There's no effort. Boom.
And you can kiss that goodbye. That's a game winner.
Late inning heroics once again. He's a legend.
Unbelievable.
In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November.
And while some hits climb the charts to become crowd favorites,
Sheer dominance from Scooble.
others could go from the first round
The Los Angeles Angels select Michael Trout
to the first ballot.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
Angels baseball on FanDuel Sports Network, brought to you by Pechanga Resort Casino. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga, conveniently located right off the I-15 in Temecula, and by Jack in the Box. It's so much more in the new T-Pain Munchie Meal. Easy inning for Jose Fermin in the 6th. He gives way to Ryan Zefferjohn here in the 7th.
Line a little bit more so on his fastball to make his cutter and sweeper better.
Face the right-handed batting Brady House to lead off here in the 7th inning. Washington with a run on 5 hits. The Angels a run on only 2 hits against Mike Soroka tonight. It's another close game. The Nationals bullpen has largely been ineffective this year, although they pitched well last night. They've been a bit better lately. Here's House with a fly ball to right center field. Adele is there waving for it and has it. Step onto the warning track. 1 out. Dalen Lyle will bat after a quick ride with Hyundai.
Charge up to 178 miles in just 15 minutes. How it should be.
Baseball is carrying pretty well, Wayne. I didn't think he got it that good. It only got to the warning track there.
Angels haven't really been able to take advantage of the ball carrying. They haven't hit many in the air with any authority tonight. Here's Lyle. Big crowd here. It's looking pretty close to a sellout as the Angels and Nationals play on this Saturday night here in Southern California. It's a beautiful night. Sun setting in the background now. You see some of those pinks and purples in the sky with the mountains in the backdrop.
Always looks like a painting at this time of the night.
Got to tell the Ducks to get that crane out of the way. Ruining our view.
Yeah, they've been busy, the Ducks. A lot of moves.
They're going to be even busier with some of the things they have planned. 2-0. Ball 3 to Lyle. Riley Adams on deck. Lyle from Louisville, drafted in the 2nd round in 2021. He takes ball 4. So it's a walk from Zephyr, the first walk issued by the Angels tonight. Group tickets for 2025 are on sale. Experience the excitement of Angels baseball with your group of 20 or more. Get tickets starting at $11 per seat. Call 714-4-ANGELS. Or visit angels.com/groups for more details.
You know, the Nationals run a lot. They might be on the move here.
Trying to stay out of the double play as well with Adams at the play. There goes Lyle on the first pitch. Throw by O'Hoppe is off the mark, and Lyle stole it easily. He almost came off the bag. Moore went to go apply the tag, but Lyle does have his 2nd stolen base. So the Nationals waste no time.
Big jump.
On the 2nd steal in 5 tries for Lyle. He did have 25 steals in the minor leagues last year.
See, he was almost looking in the outfield to see if that ball got away. He's going to bounce up and try to go to 3rd.
He just barely got his foot back on by the time Moore got there. Now ground ball up the middle will give the Nationals the lead. All it took was a walk and a steal and a roller through the middle of the field as Riley Adams has his 4th hit of the series. 2-1 Washington.
And again, just putting the ball in play. Back up the middle. Slider. Just stayed on it. That's a pretty good swing on it.
Riley Adams entered this series with 7 hits in his first 68 at bats. And he's 4 for 7 now in this series.
Pretty tough to double up Young with his speed at the plate.
Young, typically a very good bunter, but having a tough time here behind in the count now 0-2.
Seems to be an odd time to be pushing a bunt there anyhow with 1 out, but that's bunt for a hit.
He has 8 sacrifice bunts this year, and last year was the major league leader in bunt base hits, so it's kind of his game. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's on the outside corner for strike 3. A bullet from Zephyr, who gets his first strikeout.
Good fastball from him. Paints that outside corner 98.
Ball one just missed the bottom of the zone to Abrams, who tied it up with a home run his last at bat. Angels scored in the second. They only have 2 hits tonight. Washington with a run in the 5th on the Abrams homer, and now they've put up 1 in the 7th, a walk, a steal, and a single. As Abrams floats one to Taylor Ward in left field. And that ends the inning, with the Angels offense has some work to do, down by a run.
We do not talk about this superstar enough, and that's Rafael Devers.
6th straight game with a home run.
Jaron Duran is an extra base machine.
I've just always been like that guy that keeps his head down and works hard.
Swing and a miss.
Crochet's got that kind of electric stuff.
This green monster is tailor-made for Alex Bregman's swing. Great fit for Bregman, great fit for the Red Sox.
This was the piece that they really needed.
The guy's a winner. He's got all the talent.
The Red Sox are a much better team this year than they were last year.
This guy is the entire package.
Struck him out. My goodness.
He has a weapon for every hitter.
Good luck. 99.
And what I like most about him, he pitches with an attitude.
They're still on their feet for Paul Skeens.
Everyone wants to watch this guy.
Must-see TV for me.
6'7", top 5 exit velo, #1 arm in the sport.
There's a cruise missile. More fireworks.
He can go out there to center field, relax, and I think this is a 30-30 guy this season.
Turn on MLB Tonight's all-new national pregame show live at 5 as Greg, Harold, and Dan preview all the night's matchups.
Premier talent.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
MLB Tonight's national pregame show, weekdays on MLB Network.
Except for the first place Tigers. Well, the Red Sox have certainly hit a wall since the Devers trade, although they beat up on the Blue Jays today at Fenway. So the Angels, it's there for them to take it. There's no question.
Yeah, and they got to find a way. They've been real good winning these close games, especially late in the games here. They got to find a way to get it going. They got the right guy to try to get it going here with Mike Trout leading off.
Well, they want to look back in September and be 3-4 games out and wish you had some of these wins against last place teams at home. You know, the Angels have had, for whatever reason, a tough time against teams that are last in their division here in this ballpark. Mike Trout leads off the bottom of the 7th inning, 0 for 2. First pitch strike right in there from Zach Brixey, the new pitcher, the vowelless reliever. I guess he has a vowel in his first name, but none in his last name.
Throw a curveball, changeup, four-seam fastball, 93, 97.
And Trout lines one to left field. This is deep. Wood is back at the wall. Trout has tied it.
How great is that to see from Trout? A line rocket out of here, 106.2. Now it is 9 away from 400 for Trouty. What a swing. Big moment swing for Trout. Arco, top tier play, that sinker, lower third. Never a good idea to try that against Trout, and he was ready. That was short and direct to that baseball.
The classic Mike Trout home run swing right there.
Exactly, Wayne. Perfect description of that. Is exactly Mike Trout's swing there. Short, direct, impactful.
Now 2 behind former Angel Jim Edmonds on the all-time home run list. 13 on the year for Trout. That's the essential swing. If you show the stereotypical Mike Trout home run from that angle in this ballpark, that's exactly how they look. 2-2. Now 2 balls and a strike on Taylor Ward. Mike Soroka, despite 6 innings and 1 run allowed, will not get the win. Trout homering against Washington for the first time in 8 years. Teams hadn't played a lot until the new schedule got implemented just a couple of years ago. Now Taylor Ward hooks one to the left field corner. That's extra bases.
That was a rocket too. Wow, he jumped on that one. That was upstairs, a fastball.
Well, maybe Zach Brixey needs to buy a vowel to help him out here. He's allowed a home run and a double to start this inning.
This baseball was hit 111 off the bat. Taylor Ward now with 17 doubles, a triple, and 20 home runs. 38 extra base hits.
Certainly doesn't get cheated when he puts a good swing on.
There they are.
Yeah, did they recruit another guy? Was he there before that third one?
It's multiplying now. Angels in the outfield.
Jim Hickey is the pitching coach for the Nationals as he heads to the mound here. So the Angels looking for the lead here as it gets into the later innings. They have Reed Detmers set up for the 8th and Kenley Jansen for the 9th. As the Angels did not have an extra base hit in this game until Trout's home run. Now they've had 2 in a row. Joe Adell will try to make it 3 after we hear from Jack in the Box.
We killed it with your new Munchie Meal, T-Pain.
Pretty much, Jack.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Adell does have a base hit tonight. He's 1 for 2. Ward in scoring position with nobody out. Brixey gives up another line drive. This one a base hit to center. Ward will be held at third base. And the Angels now at the go-ahead run 90 feet from home. 3 straight rockets to start this inning.
And 3 straight fastballs hit extremely hard. Joe Adell is just using the whole field exceptionally well. Stayed on that 94. That's 105.5. There's some damage done to the baseball.
Yeah, he has a real shot at being the American League Player of the Month for June.
I mean, I just love the way he's hitting that baseball all over the field, and especially right back up the middle.
Well, Davey Martinez has seen enough. Now he's the one trying to buy a vowel. Brixey's out of here. And so is the Nationals lead. We'll see if the Angels can collect the lead in just a moment.
SiriusXM's The Leadoff Spot is now on MLB Network. Join Steve Phillips and former MLB players Xavier Scruggs and Eduardo Perez for a recap of the night's action, preview of the day ahead, plus in-depth baseball interviews all season long on MLB Network. In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November.
And while some hits climb the charts to become crowd favorites,
Sheer dominance from Scooble.
others could go from the first round
The Los Angeles Angels select Michael Trout
to the first ballot.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks.
There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight.
The bats have come alive. A showstopper.
We're just playing Powerball.
This place doesn't know what hit him.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues. Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
Sheer dominance from Scooble.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
Angels live postgame presented by OC Navigator coming up, along with a fireworks show for this pretty large crowd tonight. The Angels trying to come back yet again. They have 7 comeback wins here at Angel Stadium this month alone, the most in the majors. Now Eduardo Salazar has had a tough time this year, has been tasked by Davey Martinez to keep this game tied with a man on third.
Yeah, it's 27th game in that ERA like that, but he's got a fastball firm with 94-97. Will sink it, slider, changeup.
Not only does he have a high ERA, he has allowed 8 of the 11 inherited runners that he has faced this year to score. Angels have 2 inherited runners right here. The go-ahead runs at third base. No outs in the inning. And Ohapi behind here 0-2.
Took 2 sinkers in a row. That's the one he wants right there too for Ohapi.
He hit into a double play earlier with Ward at third base and Adell at first, but now the Nationals have their infield halfway in.
That's a good take. That was a nasty one. I was close.
1 ball, 2 strikes on O'Hoppe. Angels have not led since Abrams tied the game with a home run, but here in the 7th, Mike Trout's home run got it started.
Even higher percentage of sliders, 2-1.
Chopped it foul past third.
Had to sneak a fastball in her half. It's about 81% of the time he'll throw a slider to a 1-2 count to a right-handed batter.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2-2 the score here in the bottom of the 7th. Angels would feel really good to take the lead here and hand the ball to Detmers and then Jansen.
A huge game this part of the season already.
Seattle lost earlier. 500 hanging in the balance for the Angels tonight. Cleveland lost again. I mean, the Angels are passing all of these teams in the AL Central. Texas as well, they've passed. Trying to stay on top of the Rangers, and they are right there in the wild card. I mean, there's no other way to say it. The Angels are plenty in the mix here in the midway point of the season. O'Hoppe very late on that pitch as he strikes out. I mean, that ball was almost in the glove. 1 out.
I think he was anticipating. Sometimes you're looking for another pitch. He's looking for a slider.
You're about to hear the crowd react to a pinch hitter. Yes, become a face of this franchise, Zach Neto. He has turned into one of the better shortstops in all of baseball. And you could certainly make the case that between his defense and an offense, that he's been the Angels' best player for the last 2 years.
And we know how aggressive he is on that first pitch. See if he can get a fastball, middle in, and do some damage.
Pinch hitting for Lamont Wade Jr. with a chance to give the Angels the lead. He almost got hit by that pitch. Ball 1 to Neto. Christian Moore on deck. 2 guys that could be the double play combination here for a long time. One ball, no strikes on Neto off the bench here. Chase that slider, and it's 1-1. Saw Neto as a pinch hitter a couple of times in the last week. He homered off Hader last Sunday. Two balls and 1 strike. Now the count in his favor.
Still, you just feel he still might try to throw him a slider here because you saw that swing on that one slider one before. Let's try to get that in the zone.
Angels looking for the lead. Go-ahead run on third here in the 7th inning as time is called. Adams stands up behind home plate. Much bigger than most catchers, and home plate umpire couldn't see anything once Adams stood up at 6'4". 2 balls, 1 strike. Neto with a pop-up. Garcia for the 2nd out of the inning. Now it'll be up to Christian Moore as Eduardo Salazar with his 8+ ERA enters a tie game with a go-ahead run on third and has retired the first 2 hitters. Hoppe struck out. Neto has popped out.
Christian Moore has been really clutch in these spots, though. He's going to have to come up here big now. A lot of momentum going now towards the Nationals, where it looked like the Halos were going to take a lead.
And Salazar's allowed 42 hits in 25 innings. Opponents hitting .365 against him. He's gotten 2 crucial outs. He has had 3 wild pitches as he tosses ball 1 to Moore. Moore has struck out twice tonight. Big moment here in the 7th. The Angels have tied it. They'd be leaving a lot on the bases here if they cannot come through with Ward at third and no outs.
Another fastball upstairs. Christian Moore has real solid power to right center. He's going to get a fastball. Looks like it's going to be a fastball up and away or a slider. More likely a slider here. So you got to be ready there over third base for Taylor Ward. And they're going through a series of signs just in case they try to draw a throw to second base with Joe Adell at first.
The Angels started this inning with a homer, a double, and a single. And Zach Brixey left the game. Salazar has retired the next two. And Moore with a ground ball, base hit to left. He scores, Taylor Ward, and the clutch Christian Moore comes through to make it 3-2 Angels.
Boy, what a swing. That was even above the strike zone. He's come up with some major big hits since coming up to the Halos a year ago. He's doing that in the College World Series. Yes, they are. Angels in the outfield appreciative of that swing. Christian Moore.
It's a huge hit for a guy who's been in the big leagues for 2 weeks.
Hands brought up, level swing on that one too. 105 on a 2-strike pitch.
2 strikes, 2 outs, and especially after 2 of his teammates were unable to get the go-ahead run home with less than 2 outs. It's the kid, Christian Moore, although Hoppy and Neto kind of kids in their own right to some degree still.
How about the kid starts off the inning, Mike Trout with the home run, and then the kid, Christian Moore, gives the Halo the lead. The kids are all right.
I guess so. 3-2. The Angels in front now as Kevin Newman bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a big sigh of relief for the Angels to at least get that run home from third. One ball, 2 strikes on Newman. Heard the attendance 39,623, close to a sellout, just a tick under 40,000 in the house tonight. Angels are in front. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Newman. The ball in the dirt. Runners thought about it, but they stay put.
He has a trail runner. Christian Moore's got to make sure Joe is going. He's in scoring position anyhow. Different probably if he's at third base. If you're in scoring position already there for Joe Adell, unless you feel you can walk in there, it's not worth the gamble.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Remember, he hit a good rocket on a high fastball last at bat for Newman.
It's typically been tough to strike out in his career. 15 times this year in his 80 at bats entering tonight, plus 1 more in this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He lifts one deep to left. One is going back. He's at the track near the corner. It's gone. Kevin Newman, his first home run as an Angel. Hello, Newman.
Newman goes yard. That is a big. Whoa. Shocked the house on that one. First home run as a Halo. Kevin Newman, he has that power. Little slider, inner half. That smile. That's a great little present.
That is a massive blow. A 3-run homer with 2 outs. 4-run score with 2 outs in this inning.
Oh, 2 more home runs hit for the Halos today. Continue to hit home runs at the Big A here. Good stretch.
All 3 men that got on base against Brixey end up scoring. Kevin Newman, his first home run with the Angels. What a moment for it. That ball in the corner hit well. That has a chance, but it sliced foul at the last moment.
Well, what a job. Really set the tone with Christian Moore after 2 big outs by Salazar against O'Hoppe and Neto. Christian Moore, rocket single, and then Newman, 3-run home run.
Three balls and 1 strike on Rengifo. There's a fly ball hit well to left center field. This one might split the outfielders. It does as it bounces up near the wall. Wood having a hard time grabbing it. Finally does as Rengifo ends up at second base. It's the 4th extra base hit of this inning.
Yeah, you go from no extra base hits to like a bunch in 1 inning.
Now Shonowell will be the 9th batter of the inning.
That's a good swing the other way, too.
(6-2). The Angels have gone ahead with a big inning. All the runs with 2 outs.
Two doubles, 2 home runs in this inning.
Last time Kevin Newman hit a home run with 2 men on base was September of 2019 when he was still with Pittsburgh.
Telling you, there's something about that dad strength.
I guess so. Four runs in this inning on 6 hits, 4 extra base hits. The Angels up 6-2 now. 3-0 on Shonowell. The Nationals really pulled around to the opposite field side for Shonowell in the outfield. Haven't had that many balls that way. He hits for power. He tends to pull it.
Yeah, especially like in his count if he does throw him a strike here.
He didn't. It was ball 4, and now Trout will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. Well, Mike Trout was the rally starter here in the 7th as Davey Martinez is going to make his 2nd pitching change of the inning and bring in his 3rd pitcher of the inning. It's a hot start for Salazar, but he couldn't finish it. Ends up sullen as the Angels put up 4 runs and have a chance for more with Trout at the plate in just a moment.
Turn on baseball's biggest game changer, MLB Big Inning. Experience live baseball in a whole new way with up to 4 games on a single screen.
He is on fire.
MLB Big Inning, every game night on MLB.tv.
In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November.
And while some hits climb the charts to become crowd favorites,
Sheer dominance from Skubal.
others could go from the first round
The Los Angeles Angels select Michael Trout
to the first ballot.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
We got our hands up in the air, 'cause it's a party. We having fun here, 'cause it's a party. Oh my, this guy is next level. Oh my goodness.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
We missed you. Come on inside.
One of the more rare feats in the history of baseball.
He's going to be a perennial all-star MVP frontrunner.
It's a unique athlete, a unique talent.
in the bottom of the 7th. Of course, he got behind the back of Mike Trout to get it started.
Oh, it's always good to have Trout going. And then Newman. Look at Trouty ready there for Newman. Remember, Trouty came back after turning lead, hit a home run in Texas, as I remember. The birth of his son.
So now Trout bats for the 2nd time in the inning, although against the 3rd pitcher of the inning for the Nationals. Ryan Ludis is in there with Trout at the plate.
Got a high whip working too.
2 balls, no strikes. The Washington bullpen has had all sorts of issues all year. Not unusual what we're seeing tonight. What was unusual is what we saw last night when the Nationals bullpen did not give up a run in their 3rd straight game. First time that's happened all year. 2-0 breaking ball landed, and it's 2-1 on Trout.
One thing about with Trout, with that swing he had last at bat, that's the kind of a swing that can get him rolling.
Nationals bullpen ERA is .574. It's better than it was. Catches the corner, I guess. 2-2.
Still going back to that swing by Christian Moore with 2 strikes. That was impressive. It was a fastball just above the strike zone. Got this whole rally going. Gives Trout another chance to swing in the same inning.
Two and 2 on Trout. Almost got hit, ball 3.
Feels like Trout has more full counts than anybody in the game. Every time you look up. 2 already tonight. It's every game. Even if it's 0-2, it somehow works its way to 3-2.
It's 3-2 now. The runners will go. A 4-run lead has been cooked up here with 2 outs. And Trout takes ball 4 to load him up. So now Taylor Ward will have the chance to really make it a massive inning here for the Angels. He's hit a bunch of grand slams in his career.
And he's been really good in bases loaded situations. The modern day Pat Tabler.
Only 2 behind Garrett Anderson for the most in franchise history grand slams. He has a double and 2 runs scored tonight. Angels are up 6-2. 5-run inning. 4-run scoring with 2 outs. And ball 1 to Ward with the bases loaded. A lot of RBIs this month for Ward.
Pretty impressive having 3 guys in there. That's why this club has turned it around now.
It's been a nice month of June for this team generally. 2-0 on Ward. The Angels are 14-10 this month. Win tonight would put them back at 500, pulled them within a game of Seattle for that last wild card spot. Not too far behind Toronto either. And they'll play in Toronto next weekend, and they'll see Seattle later this month too.
When you go back to the reason why this score is the way it is, Kyle Hendricks pitched exceptionally well today. Exceptionally well. 5 really good innings. Just 1 run allowed.
3-0. I wonder if Ward will have a green light here.
Yes.
We'll never know. It's a bases loaded walk. Ludis has come in and been unable to find the plate.
Another game for the Halos picking up some walks. Now 4 of them today.
7-2 as Ward gets an RBI.
Get that on base percentage, get closer to get at least to that 300 mark.
He's been on base 3 times tonight. He now has 56 runs batted in to lead the team. And Jim Hickey's back to the mound with Joe Adell coming up. He has a couple of grand slams in his career. A point now where Detmers had been up for a while, but I don't think you'd use him now. Angels have a 6-run inning here, and Brock Burke has started throwing.
Especially a day game tomorrow. Big game tomorrow again. Try to finish this one off first. Still quite a few outs to have to get.
One day off Monday in Atlanta. The Angels can Use their bullpen liberally tomorrow behind Kohanowitz, who faces the lefty Mitchell Parker tomorrow afternoon. 2 outs, bases loaded for Adell, who has 2 hits tonight. He takes ball 1. Adell has just ripped the cover off the ball throughout the month of June. He's 12 homers in his last 25 games.
And he's hit the ball so hard back up the middle. Twice again today.
A good pitch to let go. 1 ball, 1 strike on Joe Adell.
Tell you what, the Angels in the outfield got to be coming out to the games more often.
I'm telling you.
And more of them.
There they are. Performing at a high level tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike. Adell leads the majors in home runs this month. Talking about American League Player of the Month for June. Seems like his stiffest competition would be Byron Buxton, who has an 1135 OPS this month, and Cal Raleigh's, who's 1086 with 10 home runs this month. Adell's OPS 1037. As he fouls one here at home plate. He cracks one here though, and he'll be right in the mix. He might be in the mix anyway. Raleigh, Buxton, or Adell will be the American League Player of the Month for June, with a couple of days still to sort it out.
Runners to be on the move here now. Base hit will score at least 2.
3-2, bases loaded, a 6-run inning. Adell with a slow roller toward Abrams. The throw to first is on target to end the inning. It was Christian Moore who had the big 2-out, 2-strike go-ahead hit. The Angels crashed the door open from there, scoring 6 to take a 7-2 lead.
Cooking a dinner my whole family can enjoy is a piece of chaos. The requests these kids make are really something.
Dad, can I get some strawberries and ketchup?
Home Chef's new family menu has been a lifesaver. With Home Chef's easy 4-serving meals, we get dinner done quicker.
I have to finish my masterpiece.
Do I even want to know?
Home Chef's family menu. The parents who get it, get Home Chef. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
At the concert and up courtside thanks to Game Time.
Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look. It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, even last minute.
What time is it? It's game time!
Should've used TickPick.
Wait, what'd you say?
TickPick. Look.
Oh, whoa, dude.
What? There are no hidden fees. What'd you guys think I said?
Oh, TickPick. I thought you said...
Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire year. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, a 6-run inning. It seemed like the Angels carrying a big lead now, 7-2. Might not need to use Reed Detmers, but they're going to go to him anyway here in the 8th. As Detmers looks to continue what's been an incredible stretch.
And that fastball velocity has been unreal. He's touched 99 with his fastball. Slider, great depth. Loves to throw that first pitch curveball for a strike.
Slider for a strike to Wood. Gustavo Campero now in right field. Wood 1 for 3 tonight with a base hit. Slider, another
nasty.
strike.
I mean, his depth on the slider is back to where he had just that dominance a couple of years ago, especially in the first 4 or 5 starts last season. He had that slider going.
It's on a heater right now. I can't imagine there are any relievers outside of Detmers that are putting together this kind of stretch. 19 appearances, 1 earned run, 2 saves, and 30 strikeouts. He's not allowed any earned runs in his last 16 appearances. Wood goes the other way and lines a base hit. That's a good piece of hitting by James
and
Wood.
that ball was crushed too. He's so good going the other way. That was a fastball, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. 98. After nasty sliders, he stayed on. He shortened up his swing. That's how strong he is. That ball was hit 110 off the bat.
First fastball of the at bat too. I mean, he just smashed it. Swing and a miss here by Garcia.
You go back to Reed Detmers. When you think about it, in that no-hitter he threw, he had 2 strikeouts in that game, and now he's just been a strikeout machine out of the bullpen.
Looking at him in the month of June, opponents have hit just 139 against him. He's allowed 5 hits with 17 strikeouts and 11 scoreless innings. There's his numbers in that no-hitter.
Amazing.
And ball 2 strikes on Garcia. Blocked by O'Hoppe. Detmers with 25 strikeouts in his last 16 innings. No earned runs allowed. He's tied for the 4th most strikeouts of any reliever in the major leagues in that time. Ground ball up the middle here, right at Newman on the second base bag. It's an easy double play.
That was a real nice play by Detmers. He brought his glove back. He knew exactly where Newman was. Gets a double play ball. Ground ball. You see he brings the glove back. Knew where his defender was. 6-3 double play. That's why you look back where your infielders are set up when you're on the mound.
Balls 2 strikes on Nathaniel Lowe.
It's really important to see Reed Detmers have a quick, efficient inning. He has a chance now with that double play ball. He's available, ready to rock and roll tomorrow also.
Finale of this series. It'll be a really important game for the Angels here tomorrow. One way or the other, really. You cannot let more wins go by as they try to put themselves in a good position with that wild card race that they're right in the middle of. Seattle losing and Toronto losing today. Angels would be just 1 game behind the Mariners. They'd be the first team out in the American League. One game behind the Mariners for that 3rd wild card spot, and 3 games behind Toronto, who are the 2nd wild card holder right now. Lowe got a piece to stay alive.
He's become a really solid left-handed batter against left-handed pitching because he stays on the baseball, even breaking balls. He was a pretty good swing on that curveball. Hits a lot of base hits going the other way lately.
If the Angels can end up 2nd in their division, they'll have a really good chance to win the wild card. 3-2 now on Lowe. Detmers having a hard time putting him away.
Yeah, had him 0-2. Rutledge in the bullpen for the Nationals.
Former 1st round pick. Detmers does walk Nathaniel Lowe, so that's 16 pitches now in the inning.
Hey, we were hoping for that quicker when he had 9 pitches to get 2 outs and he had an 0-2 count.
Josh Bell will turn around to bat right-handed here. nobody up in the Angels bullpen either. So Detmers continues to prolong the inning. It's going to be a while before anybody can come in behind him. And an extra base hit looming here for Bell. So Lowe will hold at third base, and the inning does get prolonged with a 2-out walk and then a 2-out double.
He's got a little bit more of the plate here too. This curveball, or actually slider, was more of a flat one. He hasn't had many of those in a while.
Important to get this last out, but it may be equally as important to get Detmers available for tomorrow too.
Yep. And keeping that confidence going too. He's tried to be too perfect when he was ahead 0-2 to Nathaniel Lowe.
Kenley starting to move around as well in that Angel bullpen.
We've seen what's happened really with this national club here in these 2 games. They seem to respond right back when you score. So it's a big out here now for Reed Detmers in the Halos. For a guy with some pretty good power, big out here.
Grady House 0 for 3 tonight. Just a couple of extra base hits in his first 12 major league games. Showed some power in the minor leagues. Out in front of that first pitch curveball.
Good one at 74. His curveball earlier in this inning was 77-78. His good curveball 73-74.
20th pitch of the inning from Detmers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
.97. So he's at a 74-mile-an-hour curveball, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Detmers loves that slider to get a swing and miss, but it's got to be that one that starts on the inside corner, then goes to that back foot of a right-handed batter.
Bounce back to the mound. Detmers, after a juggle, has it, and that ends the inning.
That's how he drew it up.
I'll give you this brand new
electric vehicle
if you can prove to me you know your finances. How many subscriptions are you paying for?
Just 3.
You sure? Let's download the Rocket Money app right now and see if you're right. It's actually 21 subscriptions, which is costing you around $370 a month.
The app is telling you all this?
Rocket Money shows you all your expenses in one place and even helps you suggest a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about the 21 subscriptions. You can cancel them right within the app. It'll even try and get you some of your money back.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Rock around the Christmas tree. Kevin Newman, 3-run home run. Mike Trout with a home run. The big 6-run 7th inning. Rock around the Christmas tree. Scoring lots of runs. Put up a crooked number for the Halos. Have the lead here. Bottom of the 8th, 7-2. Little Brendan Lee for you there, Wayne.
Ah, wonderful.
That's how I roll. It's a Christmas season for you.
You didn't give us Dominic the Italian Christmas donkey. That's what I want to know.
That's a favorite song at my house, believe me. My mother-in-law sings that all the time. Believe me, it's on like 24 hours a day for about a month and a half.
That's the one I want to hear. Oh, Hoppy wants to hear it too. You know, his mom's Italian. 2 balls, no strikes. It's in there from Jackson Rutledge, the new pitcher, a guy I used to hear a lot about as a potential prospect. The former first-round pick. It never really happened for Rutledge. He's still good. He's only 26. So Hoppy, it's a one hopper to third base. 1 out.
He can run his fastball up to 97 miles an hour. He sinks his fastball too, 94, 97. Curveball, slider, changeup.
Jansen moving around earlier in the Angels bullpen, but it looks like somebody else for the top of the ninth. Sam Bachman, who worked an inning yesterday, is warming up. Whoa. Call, and Adams ran it home at the mound to make sure Rutledge didn't fire it home when nobody was ready. Campero gets an at bat here. 1 ball and no strikes.
He could hit and he could run.
Rutledge, a starter throughout his career in the minors. They transferred him to the bullpen this year. A move that has certainly worked out for Reed Detmers this year, as we saw him put up another 0 in the top of the 8th.
It's good to see like with Reed able to battle through that inning like that too. I mean, he's been so crisp every inning going out there with punch outs, but there's a little bit of traffic today and still fought his way through. It's a good sign.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Every other game in the majors ended earlier today. This is the only West Coast night game. Campero drills one to right. This one's headed a long way. Gustavo Campero sends one out.
I said he could hit a little bit. Some quick hands. Another 3 home run game for the Halos. Now 124 on the season. And there they are again. The Angels in the outfield. It's great seeing Mike Trout smile too.
It's the second major league home run for Campero. It's his first left-handed. He hit one right-handed at the end of last season against Andrew Heaney.
Boy, some quick hands. That's 106 off the bat.
The Angels have hit all these home runs this year, but we've seen 2 firsts tonight. Kevin Newman and now Campero.
He goes, okay, what am I supposed to do here now? Okay, I get down to the bullpen. Yes.
Cut by Moore. 1 ball, 1 strike. Christian Moore, the go-ahead RBI his last time up.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a great balance on that swing too. He said, yeah, I got that one.
Rounded up the middle by Moore. Backhand by Garcia for the out. 2-way.
So when you think about this game, I mean, Mike Trout's home run tied it up, but that swing by Christian Moore to get that go-ahead run home is huge. Setting up Kevin Newman.
Moore now has 4 go-ahead RBIs in his first 15 major league games, 1 shy of an Angels record. It's actually set by Ohapi just a couple of years ago. Newman had that big blow with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th following Christian Moore's RBI single, which gave the Angels the lead. Newman opened it up with his first home run in an Angels uniform, a 3-run shot. 2 balls, no strikes.
Solid overall game. He had a base hit. A rocket. He at bat before that 3-run home run. Now he's getting that respect after that 3-run home run. He's got his batting average now over 200, 205. 8 RBIs on the season now.
Ball up the middle as Abrams shoots over to make the play and end the inning. Home run by Gustavo Campero, and the Angels tack on another. A big lead here brewing at the Big A.
Right this second at some convenience store somewhere,
Man, I'm thirsty.
someone really wants a soda. But that same someone's stuck between something with too much buzz or something way too boring. What if there were a better soda?
Hey, yo! Read the sign.
Weird policy, but okay.
Get a poppy.
Okay, that's what's up. A soda with 5 grams of sugar?
Drink it, you buy it.
Dude, yes.
Guess I'm buying it.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
Sutton for the Angels and the knuckleballer Phil Niekro for Cleveland. The game the Angels won 9-3. Both starters did well. Don Sutton worked 7 innings and seemed like neither was drinking from the fountain of youth that Gooby apparently found since then. I guess they didn't have the fountain of youth in 1986 for Don Sutton and Phil Niekro.
Oh, I remember them well.
Like an old-timers game with those two pitching against each other, but they at that point each had over 300 wins. Base hit for Lyle to lead off here in the top of the 9th against Sam Bachman, who gave up a run last night.
Still remember Phil Niekro threw mostly all fastballs when he won his 300th game.
Yeah.
Or all fastballs.
Yeah, I don't think he threw the knuckleball.
No. Remember Bob Boone catching that 300th win for Don Sutton here at the Big A.
A lot of milestones in this ballpark over the years. Ron Carew got his 3,000th hit. Reggie hit his 500th homer here.
Albert hit his 600th home run here.
We'll see what Mike Trout can cross off on the list of milestones in this ballpark as he approaches 400 career homers now. He is 9 away after his home run tonight. Tied the game. He's a bouncer to third. Renifo's only play will be to first. He's got plenty of arm to get it there to retire Riley Adams. One out, and Young will be the batter. Tomorrow's the finale of this series. The Angels will head to Atlanta after the game. Well, the Nationals will head home. They've been touring Southern California for the last week and a half.
That's a pretty good road trip.
Yeah, Dodgers, Padres, and Angels back to back to back.
I mean, that is perfection.
That's the ultimate road trip. I don't think you can have a better three-city trip than that one. Newman trying to track this down. The off-balance throw. What a night for Newman.
Hello, Newman.
2 outs as Lyle goes to third. And now the Nationals down to their final out.
Some really good range and off balance. He got a lot on that throw too from Newman. Quick on the transfer. Right on the money.
Jack Kohanowitz, who pitched well against the Nationals in D.C. last year, will get the ball tomorrow. It will really be an important game for the Angels to then get above 500 to go on that road trip. Kohanowitz will get the start. He got his first big league win in that game against the Nationals last year.
7 2/3 in that game.
The Angels will have 3 games in Atlanta, then 3 in Toronto, and then the final week before the All-Star break they'll be back home. So this will be the last road trip before the break. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Abrams. Angels will have the Rangers and the Diamondbacks here the week before the All-Star break. Texas will be in for 4 games. One ball, 2 strikes on Abrams. Line drive right center. Campero got a good jump. He's there. Say goodnight to the Nationals. Good win for the Angels. Scored a lot of runs late. A big 7th inning helped them cruise to an 8-2 win.
Yeah, they look really, really good coming back in that game. It all started with, there we are, Angels in the outfield, got it rolling. But it really started with Kyle Hendricks. He was the Angel in the infield, but then Kevin Newman, that power. Big home run, 3-run home run. Mike Trout tied it up with a shot, and a great, great at-bat by the kid, Christian Moore.
As Christian Moore's 2-out, 2-strike go-ahead base hit that gave the Angels the lead. And then it was Newman's home run that effectively sealed it up as the Angels pull off an 8-2 win to even up this series, and once again even their record. They're back at 500. They're a game behind Seattle for the last playoff spot in the American League. And they're right in the middle of things as they kick off the second half of their schedule with a win tonight.
That was a fun one too. I mean, after last night's game got away from me, to have that kind of game and effort there, especially as the game was tied and the Nationals took the lead, but then Trout gives the Halos a chance to tie it up with that shot. It's everything about that. Compare it with a home run, his first of the season too. So a lot of good things late for the Halos.
And the Halo shines brightly tonight thanks in part to this 3-run homer by Kevin Newman.
Oh, he jumped on that. 2 really good firm swings back-to-back at bats for Kevin Newman. That power all the way.
And Kevin Newman, our Toyota player of the game, standing by with Erica Weston.
Kevin, you picked a great spot for your first home run as an Angel, a big 3-run home run. How did it feel rounding the bases after that?
It felt great. You know, crowd got really loud. You know, great group show tonight, and we just kept going, kept battling. You know, great team win.
You welcomed a new baby a couple of days ago. Was there some dad strength behind that home run tonight?
Yeah, it felt like it. You know, they're at home. Shout out the family, Shaney, the kids. So they know they're watching, and I love you guys.
Mike led off that inning with a game-tying home run. Did that fire you guys up in the dugout to start off that inning?
Oh, for sure. You know, get us back to a tied game, get us some momentum, and then we obviously just rolled through that inning and, you know, put up a good amount of runs. You know, put the bullpen in a good spot, and they closed it out for us.
After your home run, you come back to the dugout. Mike, so excited to welcome you, put the fireman helmet on. What did it mean to have that reaction from him waiting for you at the dugout?
Oh, it was super cool. You know, I've been waiting my turn to put that fire out on, and finally got it tonight. So no, it was super awesome.
First of more to come. Thanks for the time. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys.
8-2 the final. Angels can win the series tomorrow. We'll wrap things up in just a moment.
Talent-wise, with the Correas and the Royce Lewises and the Buxtons firing at the height of their power, they're probably the most talented team.
Royce Lewis puts his team on top.
Postseason monster, we all know that.
Grand slam, Carlos Correa.
With Byron Buxton, it's the tools, the speed, the power.
He knows one speed, and that's to go get it.
I think that we're a great team. I think we know we're a great team.
The Twins have the most talent in that division.
next level. Oh, my goodness.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
What a moment. This is the show that never ends.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns,
Perfect balance.
Boom.
interviews with the players,
Get back to the fastballs.
I know what that passion feels like.
and a little bit
Keeping.
you behave properly.
Hey.
Of everything else.
Come on, Marlins.
The window seats are. The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
If you're not watching this show, you're the problem.
Angels win at 8-2 as they secure a winning homestand, and they can look for back-to-back series wins if they can beat the Nationals again tomorrow. Try to get above 500 as well. Our coverage starts at 12:30 on FanDuel Sports Network and simulcast on Fox 11+. Coming up, Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator with Patrick O'Neill and Tim Salmon. For Gooby and Erica, I'm Wayne Randazzo saying good night.
San Diego's a dangerous team.
Man, they have enough talent to run the table.
Every game here is like a party.
Fans are also playing a part. They're affecting the game.
Fernando Tatis Jr., electric.
The team that we got in there, man, we're ready to compete. We're ready to handle the unfinished business that we have.
The towels flying, the fans going nuts.
Welcome to Slam Diego.
The MLB Network podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network podcast, presented by New Balance, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns,
Perfect balance.
Boom.
interviews with the players,
Get back to the fastballs.
I know what that passion feels like.
and a little bit
Keeping.
You behave properly.
Hey.
of everything else.
Come on, Marlins.
The window seats are.
The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
If you're not watching this show, you're the problem.
What a seventh inning for the Angels. Mike Trout, the blast to tie it to the thrill of the crowd. Welcome to our Angels Live Post presented by OC Navigator. Kevin Newman. Hello, Newman. First homer as an Angel. 3-run blast. 8-2 Angels over the Nationals. First time all season the Angels have scored 8+ in back-to-back home games. Tim Salmon, Patrick O'Neill. Overall, what'd you love about this victory?
Well, I love the fact that the Angels answered back. I mean, you know, we had the big offensive outpour last night, and they're able to do that after being shut down for 6 innings by Mike Soroka. I mean, it's like, why would you take the guy out? But they did, and you know, and the other thing too is, I mean, last night the Angels scored all those runs, but their bullpen gave up 6. Well, tonight the Angels scored all those runs, their bullpen gave up 0, and the Nats bullpen gave up 6.
Sure, yeah. Trout got to Brixey. So what's Trout's approach down 2-1 in the 7th? You've been in that spot many times. This guy's hit a ton of big homers. Not a huge amount of his homers have come late close. That's a big one for Mike.
Well, it was a big home run for him, and you know, he's leading off the inning right there. He took the first pitch for a strike, so he's down 0-1. I think it was a slider, and that was just a nice little fastball down and in. That's the ball that Trout really can handle well. The fastball down in the zone. That's right in his wheelhouse right there. Great pitch, and he was ready for it. You know, he's kind of struggled a little bit this series, or this whole homestand, you know, really squaring up the ball. He's gotten his hits, got a ton of walks, haven't really been given a lot of pitches to hit. That was a good pitch for him to hit.
The Angels didn't get first and third. 2 outs. They have opportunities to take the lead. You're like, oh no, but here comes Christian Moore. The big hits that this young man has had to either tie the game or give the Angels the lead 7th inning or later, it's really remarkable what he's doing.
Well, it's remarkable. Like you said, that's a 2-out hit right there, but he was behind in the count. He was down 1-2. He's up there protecting. This is what we've been talking about this whole week or long, however long he's been here, is the fact that this kid is not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. He's not afraid of the big at-bats. Nope. He's going to give you some tough battles, and right there, that was not a great pitch to, it was more of like a protection swing. I mean, that ball's out of the zone up. He was able to barrel it, and, you know, anything close, he put it in play.
It's impressive what he's doing.
It's very impressive.
Very cool. The clutch bat of Christian Moore. There's something to dad's strength. Apparently, with Kevin Newman. He just had his 3rd child, a healthy baby girl, Autumn. 3-run jack to bust this one open.
Yeah, you know, Kevin Newman, he came over from the Diamondbacks last year. That you know, that was his thing. He could hit, and he just has not really had a good year at the plate. Hasn't really been able to find his timing and rhythm and consistent at bats. But boy, he made it pay off for the Angels in a big way right there. 3-run homer in that inning. That just really sealed the deal for the Angels. I know that's got to make him feel great. He knows he can swing it better than he has to this point in this year, and that's his big contribution tonight, and big win for the Angels, and he has to feel like he had a big part in that.
Oh, 100%, and you can see how much he means to the team when he joined that dugout. They're thrilled for him. The guy always keeps himself ready to play, and that was a big moment. Yep. We're happy for Kevin Newman. So also happy for all you Angels fans. It's an Angels victory, and that means free McDonald's French fries with a minimum $2 purchase. Free medium fries. That's a sweet little celly right there with Simo and Joe Adele, who also had a big game, couple of hits to extend his hitting streak to 10 games. So check out Mickey D's tomorrow and claim your free French fries. And Campero adding to the home run magic, and that was his first of the season. We'll be right back.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch 1.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
Some moments are too big to miss.
This place is going wild.
MLB Tonight brings you closer to the biggest plays and reactions from the moments that matter most.
You know, good to get that win today, but gotta keep going.
MLB Tonight, only on MLB Network.
Yordan Alvarez is just becoming this consistent hitting machine.
The big man who wears 44 is 4 for 4.
Face of the franchise, everything that is Houston now.
He's top 5 in every category for the Houston Astros historically.
Always just assume they're going to play in the ALCS.
There's no effort. Boom.
And you can kiss that goodbye. That's a game winner.
Late inning heroics once again.
He's a legend.
Unbelievable. Welcome back, everybody, to our Angels Live postgame presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. A lot of fireworks, a lot of home runs for the Angels. We talked about it in our Angels Live pregame here with Tim Salmon, who hit quite a few. Of course, he had the record until Trout passed him. And 50% of their homers, Fish, come via the home run. And this is another month of 40-plus. 41 now in the month of June. The month is not over. Campero with the third homer and 5 runs score out of the 8th via the home run.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, that's 124th home run as the team this year. And this is a great piece of hitting. 2-2 fastball up and in. And, you know, he doesn't hit many of them, but he squared that one up nicely. It is, you know, maybe it's one of those contagious things. I don't know. Guys are really thinking about getting extension out front. But whatever the case is, we'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot of home run hitters out there. You'd like to see them have more 3-run homers like you saw tonight.
That's right.
But that's just going to come. I mean, that's just going to come when you get guys on base and you're starting to see some of the walks pile up and good at bats. And I tell you what, you know, just get on base any way you can, pass the baton, and if one of those guys hits a home run, all of a sudden, you know, puts the game away.
By the way, some teams lost ahead of the Angels. They're now just one back. Astros lost, so they leave the division. Mariners, Jays, Guardians, all lost, and you're one back in the wild card. Long way to go.
Back to 500.
Yeah, and that's right. And a chance to go over 500 for the first time in a minute since April 20th when they were 11-10. They could do that tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks, were you surprised at 76 pitches he was done tonight?
I was. I think, you know, when Wash was at the helm, I think he lets him go another inning. He really, you know, given up the one run. I mean, hadn't really had too much damage. I know you're coming around that third time around him again. But he had, you know, he was locating the fastball. He had a good changeup. He got some strikeouts with it. You know, you didn't really see anything that made me say, oh, he's in trouble. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise. But, you know, that's going to be, you know, one of those deals. You know, now you have Ray Montgomery running the show. And, you know, Ray's a younger manager that, you know, probably leans a little bit more into the analytics of things. And, you know, probably the matchups third time through. But, yeah, look at the strikeouts right here. I mean, those are well-located pitches. I mean, that's the one thing about Kyle Hendricks. If he's hitting his spots around the zone, you know, I'm okay with him. You know, if he starts making mistakes over the middle or you see guys start sitting on stuff, that's when he gets in trouble.
Yeah, bullpen went to work. They had to go for Fermin, who just came back up. Zephyr John gave up the home run, picks up the W. Detmers and Bachman to finish off this victory. But a real happy note in this one is the 3-run home run for Kevin Newman. Just picked up his third, just had his third baby girl and his first homer as an Angel. And I know that Ray Montgomery was happy about that.
No, it's great. Yeah, I told him afterwards, I said, what a special thing to do there, having your third child and then having a night like that. He was pumped.
Mike led off that inning, the game-tying home run. What do you think that does for the group when he sees they see him do that and big spot in the game?
Yeah, never gets old, right? I mean, he's capable of changing the game every time he's in it and every time he's at the plate. So not surprising, and he's been grinding. And, I mean, it's huge to have his presence, both obviously what he brings offensively, but just in the dugout around the guys, like you say, it's awesome.
For Newman, obviously, it's been a struggle for him this year. What did that mean to you? You said he had his skip this week and everything, just to have a night where he really contributed?
Yeah, listen, I mean, you know, when you don't get regular ABs and you're coming off the bench and you're asked to do the things that role is asked to do, it's tough. I mean, for those that have done it, they know how hard it is, so it's hard to get into a rhythm. So just to put a couple ABs back-to-back, couple nights, you know, to get him a little more comfortable was good. You know, the ball he hit before that, too, leading off the inning was nice, too.
With Hendricks, do you think that, like, for the way you'll kind of go forward is mostly just 2 times through, or what was kind of the decision?
No, I think we've talked about how Kyle pitches. I mean, tonight's a classic example. Like, you just watch him work, you sit back, you let him do his thing. Obviously, when we got to the 3rd time through, yes, right? Advantage hitter, we know that. But still, you have to play it, day by day and start by start.
Christian Moore coming through with the big 2 outs again, too.
Yeah, it's really nice. He was frustrated earlier, too. And again, I keep reiterating, he has the ability to slow the game down in big moments, and he keeps coming up big in those spots, and we're going to keep putting him out there to do it.
You say he has the ability to do that. What do you say? What do you specifically?
Well, when you see people who are frustrated on one side of the ball, and then it leaks into what they're doing offensively, he had the ability to understand the moment and get rid of what happened prior in some of his at-bats. And again, his frustration is his. We understand how difficult it is. He's learning that. So on the fly, in the moment, slow it down and be able to give us a good AB.
Does he like that pitch up, or was he kind of more protecting the 2 strikes there?
I think he likes every pitch, and he can handle most of them.
There's Monty bringing that sneaky sense of humor. Christian Moore coming up. Huge, but let's not forget about Mike Trout. His home run to tie it was enormous. Angels have a team, folks. 8-2 is the win.
Charge up.
The alpha dog among big league closers right here. Top of the food chain, Manuel Clase.
Jose Ramirez, one of the most unsung great players in the game of baseball.
Goodbye. That's why he needs his gamer. Swing!
Cutter at 100 miles per hour coming at you.
Home run, Jose Ramirez.
Best power, speed, and run production is Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez. He's a complete player.
Ball game. Swing and a miss. Bucket. You get into the 9th inning, done deal.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte. He's done it one more time.
The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte.
There goes Corbin. Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
Goodbye! Snakes alive!
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
In music, a hit can define a generation. In baseball, the right hit on draft night can change a franchise.
He is Mr. November!
And while some hits climb the charts to become crowd favorites,
sheer dominance from Scooble.
Others could go from the first round,
The Los Angeles Angels select Michael Trout,
to the first ballot.
Top tank for Mike Trout.
The MLB Draft, presented by Nike, July 13th on MLB Network.
We welcome you back to our Angels Live postgame presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. 3 homers on the night. Trout, Newman, Campero, Christian Moore, the big knock, good pitching, and an 8-2 victory for the Halos over the Nationals. And tomorrow they go for the series win, get over 500 with Tim Salmon. What do you make of this upcoming schedule? Monday off day, and then it's 13 straight games without an off day until the All-Star breaks. Big stretch right here.
Yeah, July's a gauntlet. I mean, for sure. They got some really good teams they're going up against. Atlanta down year right now, but still, you're playing in Atlanta. You know, it's going to be tough there. Toronto, I mean, they're playing a much better baseball. And then, of course, you go to Texas. Now you get into your division, 4 games in Texas. And it's just, you know, to me, it's just, there's no easy wins here going, you know, from here on out. So this team's playing better. They just need to roll that out, just keep building that confidence. good news is the pitching staff, the bullpen, really pitched well the last month on the road, so they're going to get tested here on this road trip.
And Kahanowitz tomorrow, his first career win. Jack Kahanowitz came against the Washington Nationals a year ago in Washington when he pitched great, went 7 2/3. So let's see him do that again tomorrow and have the Angels leave town over 500 and hit the road. Fish, we'll see you tomorrow, 12:30.
See ya.
All right, good night, Angels fans, for our entire Angels crew. Tim Salmon, I'm Patrick O'Neill. Tomorrow, 12:30, right here.